You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
The Johnny Rocket Launchpad is Liberty. Each week we strive to bring you the best guests in talk radio. The Johnny Rocket Launchpad delivers weekly interviews of noteworthy politicians, experts, and activists. The Johnny Rocket Launchpad is bringing the party to the Libertarian Party and launching ideas in your direction. Check us out at johnnyrocketlaunchpad.com. You can hear me, Kurt Nelson, and the beautiful Heather Nixon talk about the ideas of liberty, rock and roll.
Hey there, Liberty lovers. This is Mark Clare of the Lions of Liberty podcast, where we strive to bring you great conversations about the ideas of liberty 3 days a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Check us out at lionsofliberty.com.
Hey guys, this is Roger Paxton, and if you're fed up with the government running every single aspect of your life, but you're not listening to the Lava Flow podcast yet, then what's wrong with you? Check us out at thelavaflow.com, or just go back to sucking up to the government. The Lava Flow podcast, striking the root every single episode.
We are supported by listeners like you. Donate per month or make a one-time donation through PayPal or Patreon at wearelibertarians.com. Welcome to We Are Libertarians for this week. I'm your host, Chris Spangle. We Are Libertarians brings you all of the irreverence modern politics deserves. We explain to you what the hell is happening in our world today and how we can fix it by thinking differently. This is a podcast brought to you by the We Are Libertarians Network. Please be sure to rate and review us on iTunes, like us on Facebook, share this episode with friends, and support us through PayPal or Patreon at wearelibertarians.com. We are supported by listeners like you, so $1 per episode by pledging $5 a month helps us grow. We are always taking your questions and comments via email at editor@wearelibertarians.com. This is going to be a jam-packed show. We've got all kinds of people joining us on this episode. Some were invited, some are welcome, some are not. And we've got a lot to talk about tonight. First and foremost, let's introduce everybody. As always, Greg is here.
Chris, I have a little bit of a bone to pick with you again.
I know.
Last time you didn't tell me Bittner was coming, and so last week featured Bittner. This time I knew he was coming, but I wasn't prepared for it. So what is it? It's fool me once, shame on you. Mm-hmm. Fool me twice, shame on the shamer.
Yes. I realized I made a grave mistake.
You're trending towards
sedition.
I mean, Bittner might become a trend. 3 times in a row is a trend. 2 times is a pattern.
Here's what I've done, okay? I right before the show, I went to get some anti-Bittner bait.
At Menards?
No, better. Brett Bittner. Brett Bittner's here. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I have a feeling that I know what you're about to say.
Uh-huh. And then also here is Harry. Harry at Price. How are you?
I'm going good. I expect to work on computers tonight, and someone shoved a microphone in my face.
Well, beggars can't be choosers, Harry.
You could have shoved worse things in your face.
Yeah.
It was disturbing that Harry was waiting outside your door trying to break in.
We'll get to Harry in a moment, okay? One nuisance at a time. And always a pleasure is Shane Zoellner. How are you doing, Shane?
I'm doing well, Chris.
Did I say your name right?
Shane Zoellner, yep.
All right.
I'm glad you could come on. It's first time on, so
First time
it's
on,
exciting.
Yeah.
This is.
So go ahead.
I've been wanting to be on for a while. So
Yeah, glad to have you. So first thing, Bittner. Let's deal with this issue.
Yep,
All
go
right.
ahead.
All right. Now, Brett Bittner did a tremendous favor to me, to you, to the listeners.
I don't know that you get to just use the transitive property and pass it on to me.
Okay.
For yourself.
All right.
Someone has to be never Bittner here.
All right. And
I'm always never bitten.
That's true. You are, and you're doing a fantastic job.
he has
23% of the way there now.
He has
picked up another 2 points.
Can I finish? He has greatly served the We Are Libertarians empire, and he, the Advocates, is leaving Indianapolis, and he donated many things from the Advocates to We Are Libertarians, and we thank you so much, Brett.
You're very welcome.
It was a very kind thing, so he asked if he could come on, and this is 2 in a row, so I apologize to the audience, but Brett Bittner might be becoming a friend. But
he's a friend, but we're still never Bittner.
But we're
of course.
But we're still going to make sure that we keep our distance with Bittner. So I have gone to Chick-fil-A. Now, Bittner, you're on the keto diet, and you look
keto.
He's on the keto diet. How much have you lost?
56 pounds.
56
October 28th.
October, right.
Very
So
svelte. Looks really healthy.
what I have here is a Chick-fil-A sweet tea with extra sugar.
Does it taste like the antebellum?
Oh, tastes so good. And then here, this, which I will be eating in front of you all night.
And did you say it's Chick-fil-A?
This is a Chick-fil-A.
No gay chickens were made in this sandwich.
This is a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
With cheese.
You got to get the pepper jack cheese.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a pickle on there?
Oh,
The Jesus pickle? Yeah. Dude. You don't see it?
Is that a real thing? That's
what I call it.
I was going to say, that's awesome. I've never
I've
heard
always
that.
called it that.
The Jesus pickle. You know, the Jesus pickle on Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches?
This is delicious. It's a regular chicken sandwich.
You know, we should just let you eat it and hear you chew and not say a word. Shut all our mics off and you just finish. Gotta lick the fingers. Keep going. See how long people will do this. They'll die. How is it?
It's so good. Bittner, how does this taste?
Stick your tongue out.
I'm staring Bittner right in his eye. Hey, Bittner, you like seafood? I haven't had food all day, so this tastes so good. Sandwich cooked. This may be the worst radio we've ever done. Our friend Kat's here. Hi, Kat. Oh, you guys can talk now. Your mics are
So
back
you
on.
didn't get the spicy chicken?
No.
You have to go with
Or
the
is that
original.
spicy
dude.
for you?
I'm white. This is spicy as fuck.
Oh, okay.
I said there's pepper jack cheese on it.
I mean, it's got the pickle. It's got the pepper jack.
Thank you, everybody, for
Did you
sharing,
enjoy it?
sharing that moment. Bittner, how's that? You like that?
That's fine with me, dude. The Chick-fil-A sandwich really hasn't been, a huge part of my life or anything.
What?
I know.
What about
Just a sweet tea.
I'm the sweet tea and nuggets guy.
Maybe a McAllister sweet tea.
Nah.
I lied. This is sweet tea with extra sugar.
Extra racism.
So sweet.
Yep.
Yep.
That was actually
Hey.
brewed on a plantation outside.
You know
of-
where that
of
got me,
Georgia.
buddy.
I know. That's why it's a treat.
And
It's
you're
an anti-Bittner treat.
you're well on your way.
No, I've lost 10% of my body fat in the last 2 months.
Awesome.
My mom at dinner the other night goes, I can tell you lost weight because your boobs are gone.
You know what's
That
funny?
was real?
Yes, 100%.
You have the worst mom on the planet.
No, hold on. I'm about to top it. At least he didn't run into her in the airport in Los Angeles and have to say, "Hey," because she didn't recognize me as I was going by.
No, I mean, but I would know. I would have to do that too if I hadn't seen you for a while.
Yeah,
Like-
I mean it's been since October.
I
It was
would
a week
definitely
before
have
my
to.
diagnosis. So
Yeah, I mean, granted, your mom never wanted you because you were a mistake, but I, mean,
Well,
I would still have to
right.
be reminded.
Okay,
That first
okay.
yoga class, I
Not
barely
all of
go.
us have miracle privilege.
I've always considered myself divine.
Right. So let's get to the other nuisance at the table. That would be Harry Price.
Oh my!
Who was also doing great things for We Are Libertarians
Hold on,
and for me.
Wait. I do have to say, Harry was on time.
Yes, I was.
Oh, absolutely.
Like of
You
everybody
say
at the
that with
table.
surprise. Why?
right.
Harry. Well, no, Harry's on time when we go to yoga. Harry's on time when we go to brunch.
You know, they
Harry's
can be,
on
they
time
Can be
quite a bit.
punctual, Brett.
I'm very aware. Harry is very punctual.
He's not an anomaly, Brett.
He's a person too, Brad, okay? Just because you're from Georgia and you look at Harry.
Get
and
north of the Mason-Dixon, they're no longer property, Brett. I know that's different for you to adjust to.
do you look when you look at Harry, is he 2 fists empty or 3 fists full?
I'm an optimist. Okay, that's full.
Now Harry
So that's a little less racist. You gave him an extra fifth. I like it.
Here, I've been spending a lot of time with our technology director here at We Are Libertarians. Harry Price he came over all day Sunday to convince me of Trello, and instead I created my own Trello with a bulletin board and some note cards, and I Trello cucked him. And
which also suffered the Amazon outage all day Monday.
Correct. So did Slack and a lot of other.
You had to throw that in because Trello's your favorite, but the competitor also failed.
Yes, because Slack sucks.
You know what didn't fail? My bulletin board. Okay, my bulletin board did not black out. All right, there's no power outage on my blackboard. All right, didn't mean to trigger there. I said trigger. Now, Harry. Harry was over Sunday. We are in the process of greatly upgrading the studios. You guys, it looks really messy in here. That's because Amazon dropped off a tremendous amount of things today. We've got, you see back there, you see some camera boxes. The lights are up. This wall is blank. We're going to put some decorations.
You took down your scalp wall.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
All your little political mementos.
Yep. And so we're going to, next week when you come in, we're going to have lights. We're going to have
a couch.
We're going to have colored lights, Greg.
Colored?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the correct term.
Harry got me covered.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited.
You paid this month.
I'm interested to see if people really are, if they're excited that we all of a sudden can do like a discotheque theme.
It's not going to look like a discotheque, but
it can though. It'd be very easy.
Harry,
I get my fro out, get the ball out. It'd be great.
Okay, now we're doing a discotheque because I want to see Harry's fro out. And so Harry was over here, and we've got some cameras coming in. We're going to have a multi-camera shoot. We're going to have lights. Staging, it's going to be amazing.
Yep, and Spangle was supposed to get here early so I could have some of that set up today. That didn't end up happening. Then I planned on setting that up while we're doing the show. But there's a microphone in front of my face.
Well, you can walk away from the microphone at any time, Harry.
It's voluntary, Harry. We don't have subpoena power.
Right.
You're under arrest.
You know where all the computers are because apparently you've mapped my entire network.
No, you changed it though this week though, so I've got to remap it.
I also upgraded my internet. I've changed to a business account, and there is a factory router now operating the We Are Libertarians network.
Moving on up.
Harry is very upset about it because he's like, you don't want to use my router? No, because you spy on me, Harry.
I do not.
If you had never told us about his bandwidth spikes at night, then I don't think he would ever have the problem.
Yeah, I'll just be sitting in chat.
He really did, and then he screenshotted it and showed us off,
basking in the glow of my recent adventures through stepsister porn. And then here comes Harry with a screenshot of a massive amount of spike for the last hour and a half.
This is odd.
And so,
there's only one person there and using a lot of bandwidth.
So I gave everybody but Harry the Wi-Fi password while he was outside.
I was concerned. I thought someone was hacking,
right.
Using a lot of bandwidth.
Is that why you hacked into his webcam?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure Russians could have been in here, attacking him.
We've also reinstalled the drop cam for those of you who there was an incident this past weekend, and so I've reinstalled the security camera. So just in case I get brutally murdered by a Mexican, then
well, that's what happened. That's why Trump won. That's why we got to send him back.
That's not racist because Juan was very upset with me.
Somebody's doing the raping, Chris.
There is a kitchen knife next to my bed because there was an incident.
Speaking of knives, Shane brought quite the little...
hold on. I'm not finished.
Oh, with Harry?
So Harry has lots of ideas.
Yes.
Okay, Harry.
He's an ideas man.
Very. And so Harry's solution to instead of putting up a black curtain here, so that way we're going to see a black curtain behind us. Harry wanted to take the counter off of my open concept apartment and put up a drywall and close off my kitchen.
So he wanted to build a wall.
Yes, and extend it out a little bit.
Correct.
And then he wanted to make us wear makeup.
Yep. It was a great final solution to get everything correct.
Final solution.
Okay. That's all I wanted. I wanted like podcast purity in the one spot, corral everything in this one, just concentrate it all in this one area, so it would be perfect.
Efficient.
Nice
and
and concentrated.
Yeah.
lots of
For the greater
solutions,
good.
purity, concentration,
Less hassle for people.
Right.
something
less
like
conflict.
that. Yeah.
I
Sounds
said-
familiar.
I'd like to see you
Cheaper loan rates.
introduce the
80 years ago,
Yeah.
kind of.
introduce the concept of makeup to Greg. Let's hear.
I'm red. Like I'm
Right.
I'm part cheer. I'm
And
swarthy.
and he's got different color across his face. You can't put that in HD.
Nope.
Yeah.
You know,
I need a full-time makeup artist if you want me to blend this.
See, Miranda can come here, put makeup on him.
You could
all
get
up-
the people who did Chloe's makeup this
I know
weekend.
what I could do.
He-
I could
he-
do my
no, he-
Halloween costumes.
Yeah. No, you can't.
Dang it.
Harry's coverage doesn't extend that far, okay?
I had a song planned and everything.
No, he has springtime for Hitler and Germany.
Listen to those pipes.
Harry was going to bring his makeup kit.
Yep, the
Harry
Veil
has a
Banner.
makeup kit.
Harry does have a makeup kit. I've seen a picture once of Harry that was very unexpected.
Yep. Which one of the cosplay ones?
The in drag.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Buzz's Big Gay Dance Party. That was a great one.
Yeah, and
I bet it was. Bet you were the belle of the ball.
Oh yeah.
gay old time.
Yep. A lot of fun dancing on boxes, meeting up with people. I think a couple years ago. Yeah, that's why I grinded on President Vermin Supreme. Yep. After he got off the pole.
Okay.
But he has good hygiene.
Oh yes, he does.
Very.
Yep. Mandatory toothbrushing.
All right, now, so Harry has a lot of ideas, and some of them we will enact, and others we will just completely ignore.
Yeah, you just throw everything at the wall and we'll see what sticks.
See what sticks.
The other idea is you take all the podcast stuff, put it in your bedroom, and you just move. Either into your living room or into the laundry room.
That was the other one. He wanted me to move into my
Auxiliary room.
my 5 square foot laundry room with my bed, which wouldn't even fit in there, or move out and have my bed here. And so
like it's a studio apartment.
right, and then have the podcast in my room, and I'm like, I'm barely getting laid as it is with my apartment looking like the scene,
couch.
the set from National Treasure. I mean, it's like
That's true. You do have a lot of founding documents on your wall.
I do, and I've got Trump there and buttons, and then I'm gonna have a podcast studio wall here with all kinds of fancy things. And
Don't forget your Guy Fawkes mask.
Oh God, yeah, and it's pink.
yeah, that's a gift from Maya, who's out in Denver and doing really well. But I do, Kat, Shane, can you go up there, please? This is for me and Kat. Kat, right above there, right next to Uncle Sam, there's a white rope. Yeah, grab that, bring that to me, and then pick up that mic.
Oh God.
Now,
I've worn this.
Just kind of here. Let me show you what this does. Go ahead and put this on. There we go. Go ahead, put that on. It's a vibrating mustache. And so whenever women are skeptical when they come over, I just whip this little bad boy out.
I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, she's very intrigued. She said, "So don't let me fool you."
It's got little tricks. It's like booby trapped with sex toys all around this place.
Now Shane revealed that he is descended from. Now Shane is a very handsome man. He is very attractive.
As people that flee Germany usually are.
Now look at that haircut. He's trying to fool his ancestors because he has the undercut.
He does.
And it is full Nazi.
He's a lot like Richard Spencer.
He looks just like Richard. He looks just like Richard Spencer.
See, I've been rocking this haircut for like 3-4 years now, though. So
Yeah, you've had it since I've known you. So that you are you going to stay with it since it's become so trendy?
I am. Yeah, it's kind of
The
become my
undercut
look.
it's a great cut.
It is.
Now,
Strong cut. Very proud.
very proud. Harry, how are you feeling? Are you okay? Now he brought you a present.
He brought a. I'll let him explain what it was. I was stunned. He shows up and he just hands me a knife, and I'm like, at first I wasn't making the connection because I didn't see what was on the handle, and I think, well, Harry had just been taking a picture of Chris's key, trying to 3D print something to break into his home. And
That's
so
the other thing.
I didn't,
Laser cut.
and I didn't know how well Shane knew Harry, so I thought it was a self-defense thing. And
He saw, there's not. Yeah, Harry took a photo of my key so he can make a key to my apartment.
he literally creep shotted it like we caught him. It wasn't like it was a setup. Like Nope, Harry's definitely creeping, trying to break into Chris's house.
And he's like, I go, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm just trying to make a key so I can come into your house whenever I want. I mean, but it's not a bad idea. When I die and the cats eat me, somebody's got to come in here and get the equipment for you guys to carry on.
That's a good point.
And
Yeah.
delete your internet search history.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I take it all back, Harry. That was smart.
Yep. See.
What a good friend.
I'm not into stepsister porn, so I don't want to have to go through all
Listen, highly recommend it. Okay, look up "Stepsis Loves Me." You'll thank me later. All
that.
right.
Now, James Nee said that's still in the top 10 on Pornhub. Is that true?
Dude, the girls, it is comedy plus all the action you'll ever need. There's one where the girl is a magician. I think I've talked about this.
Oh yes, multiple times.
I've shared it with you guys. Actually,
I like the stepsister.
should we show Kat? Should we let Kat watch this and get a live reaction video from her?
I don't know that she wants to, but she's more than welcome.
All right, maybe here in just a little bit we'll get Kat's reaction to this, but she was very excited.
She was
ready to.
Do
go.
I want a stepsister?
Okay, so you gave him a knife.
He
Correct.
showed me an artifact.
I did. So the story behind it is a German officer's knife. My family started coming here in 1917.
Okay.
And finished in the late 1930s.
Okay.
So we were brown-haired, brown-eyed
Yep.
German Jews at the time.
Uh-oh. Not
But
good.
you look just very German.
I do. I look very German.
You guys had wonderful plastic surgery.
Right.
You said at the time.
Yes. So somewhere along the line, we are now all Catholic.
Okay. All right.
So we all converted.
Yeah, you're not going to make that mistake again.
Well, I just want to commend you on your wise choice.
We've been through too much.
Yeah. It's a bit of a sore spot, but you kept the knife in the family.
I did, yeah. So it's been passed down to me through a couple generations now.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
It's something that I'll keep forever.
Yeah, and it's got the emblem right on the handle, and then
does.
it's clearly something that when it was made by a craftsman. Like it is an exceptionally nice knife.
I did look it up online. The company is still around making knives.
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
That's fine.
Well, I mean, this one's still here, so you know,
Right.
yeah, and clearly they worked.
Right?
okay. All right. Now,
No, but that's awesome. Well, we'll put it out with the episode if people want to see it.
yeah, absolutely. So we want to thank some folks because we put out a call to several of you to help donate and offset some cost. In addition to the new video equipment that we're installing, and also we're upgrading our servers. So we go through. I host everything on Bluehost, and that's where the website is hosted. And you're not really supposed to. You can throw a podcast on a server like that, on a shared server. Most podcasts get 30 listeners.
Yeah, they'll never notice.
Yeah.
But we don't. We have increased 2,000 to 3,000 listeners since Election Day. And so we're just getting on the edge there, and we've got to switch over to a different hosting company and start hosting this particular feed with a host, and that takes anywhere from $30 to $75 a month.
Long story short, we can no longer exist on subsidies of people that actually pay for the right plans.
Exactly right. So yeah, and the subsidy cannot come out of my pocket any longer. So I asked for donations, and many people stepped up, including Samantha Wotes, our friend from Florida.
She's the best.
Christy Avery, always. Rebecca Cash, Morgan Rigg, Kelly Kern became a monthly subscriber.
You're the best, Kelly.
Rick Irvine, Sharon Newman, Austin Broderson all donated, and we ended up with a brand new sponsor that we'll be telling you about soon. And all of you helped offset that cost. Now, those were one-time donations. This is a monthly expense. So we were covering the expenses of the operation, and what we tried to do is to not cost. Basically, we don't want this to cost money. Mainly, I don't want it to cost money because I pay for everything.
Yeah, we don't want it to run negative.
Right, and so with the additional expense of anywhere from $30 to $75 a month, we're asking that you go to PayPal or Patreon at We'reLibertarians.com. and join in and help offset that cost. So please, $1 an episode, $5 an episode, $5 a month, $50 a month, whatever you want to do, that really greatly helps us out. And thank you to all the people that chipped in the other day to help us get started and at least cover that first month, because we expect to continue to grow and grow and grow. And as we continue to grow and grow, that means we're going to have more and more expenses. And as we always try to bring you a lot more stuff, we've got some video ideas that we were talking about in chat the other day that I will probably put behind the paywall for premium subscribers because once we get that kicked off, because it's hilarious.
It's going to be really good.
It's very funny. So thank you to everybody that donated. Thank you so much. We were able to take that and at least get that first month kicked off. So please, that's why we ask you to donate every episode. We don't do it to spend on hookers and blow. We do it to grow our network and to defend ourselves from Harry.
So it's a Harry Defense Fund is what it really is.
Yep. So like the cost, I upgraded to a new internet, and I did that, and it costs a little bit more a month, and I did that solely because I want to be able to stream better video to Facebook Live.
Sure you did.
Yes. Yes. Not just for the stepsister porn, but we're trying to we're bootstrapping this essentially as we grow this into a business over the next few years. We're trying to bootstrap so there's no debt. So anyways,
and ideally we want to keep as much of our content as free as possible.
Absolutely. As ad-free as possible, as free as possible, so you are always able to get access to content, share it with your friend as much as you can. So, with that being said, what we thought we would do tonight is go and actually take some of your questions. I get a lot of emails, and we're not always good about, because we talk a lot about current events, we're not always good about going back and revisiting those and reading your emails. But I wanted to take the opportunity tonight to do some of that. The first one goes to Greg.
Directly?
Yes. No, but we'll let you answer it.
Oh, God. Wonder what this one's about.
Jeremy writes, may I ask why this Facebook page seems to rarely go after Republicans? I love the pics you guys post about Democrats, but Republicans are just as bad.
I disagree wholeheartedly. I don't know that there's anyone you could say is similar or the equivalent of a Rand Paul within the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
So that's why. And I am someone that I support the Liberty Caucus, and I support a lot of the elements that Donald Trump takes because mainly I enjoy the tiers of Democrats. I always have. To me, the left's the permanent enemy, and that's why anything I post is going to be more so an attack on Democrats.
Yep.
I don't believe they'll ever be part of Libertarians.
And anybody chime in at any time. We're just going to kind of go through these various questions. We're going to kick off with just some rhetorical questions. A lot of libertarians ask questions. Most libertarians write things that you need to know.
In a wall of text.
Right.
Without punctuation.
Now,
it's like an answer, but with autism.
Joshua, I really, by the way, need to get my filter checked because I've been hanging around
with shitlords way too much.
Way too much.
It's carrying over to work.
I told one very influential person that he had autistic hands the other day, and may have
and
said,
no even slight hesitation that may not come off as well as we tend to throw it around.
Moments later, showing him the gay frogs of Alex Jones. The next day, saying words that are only meant for chat rooms. All right.
Did you offer him any of the super male vitality?
No, he doesn't need it.
I was gonna ask if yours wore off yet.
No.
Have you come down?
I'm still woke.
His eyes are pretty open.
You didn't sleep well that night, did you?
No, I ended up sleeping for 30 minutes that night after we were.
Wow.
It's not fake. Really isn't.
I don't know what it is, but I'm never going to do it again.
I feel like I need to try this.
You do. It honestly has an effect.
It does.
Yeah.
It tastes
I start growling
disgusting
when I talk. That's how manly I feel.
He's like,
the globalists.
Chest hair shoots out an extra
you saw what I did with Miranda when we were taking pictures.
Yeah, you were off the chain.
You touched your first boob. I'm proud of you.
Oh yeah, my first one, Greg.
Totally kidding.
Congratulations. You touched a stripper's breast, although it was free. And I will say,
exactly.
There's no such thing as a free lunch.
First taste is free.
Now, Miranda gave me a stack of ones after that. She's like, here, you keep these. And for the next 5 days, I had $30 in ones that smelled like stripper perfume. And I'm just like, blip, 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 putting the money on the counter. Oh, of course I did.
You said you're going to keep them forever because they were all over.
No. Are you kidding? I was flattering her. Okay.
Oh, this is so
on the
nice
frame.
of you. I'll keep it forever.
Yeah. All right. Now on to Joshua. Let's see if this. Look, it worked without falling down. Joshua writes, I wanted to thank you for the raw audio and Gary Johnson for president feeds. My wife's aunt and uncle are politically lost with Trump as the Republican nominee. They knew I was a libertarian and reached out to me about Gary Johnson, and I was able to refer them to your podcast to learn more. We have a podcast that we do called the Raw Audio Politics Feed. I just put Trump's State of the Union address in there, and essentially it's audio that I want to go back and listen to on podcast form, and I just make that available to you guys. So go and check out that feed. The Gary Johnson for President was a feed that I pulled of interviews. And thank you so much, Joshua, for writing in, and we're glad that we could help you out with that feed. Let's talk about... now, this is back during the election when this was written, so it may be a little dated.
Well,
but
you put 4 in chat. Are we going to go through those too?
Yeah, so I'm just going down the line here. And if you want to write us in and give us more questions for... Listen, we just didn't want to talk about Trump and the alt-right and all that bullshit again.
Yeah, we're burnt out on that.
Right.
It's been too much.
So we want your questions. So as we go through 2017, when there is no election, we want to talk more philosophy. So if you've got questions, editor@wearelibertarians.com, or you can send it to the Facebook page. I'll copy and paste it, and we'll read it 8 months later. Like Casey's question. So Casey writes, while we push for Trump's tax records, let's also push for full disclosure of donors and amounts to the Clinton Foundation, especially during the time Hillary was the Secretary of State. Liar was highlighted in Hillary. Anyone want to guess if there's a connection of funds donated to the Clinton Foundation from countries who support groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIS and favors Hillary, the one she gave these countries during her term as Secretary of State, mainly in terms of cash and weapons? We agree.
We already know that, yeah, because the Qatar gave a major donation to the initiative, and they're one of the biggest financiers of all radical terrorism, both Al-Qaeda and ISIS.
All right, so this one comes from Michael, and this is one of the first of the 3 or 4 that I put in chat that we're going to discuss tonight. Hi, guys. Thanks, as always, for the show. However, I didn't rate mentally this last cast regarding the alt-right very highly. First of all, wouldn't the alt-right be the left, or should it be called bizarro right instead? Anyway, regarding immigration and how you are judging those who want to build a wall as racists, I think your admirable tendencies of inclusion are clouding your brains. I will jump to the absurd to illustrate my point. Would you be okay with no borders and the Chinese, who themselves have established borders, just to walk right in and claim the U.S. as their own? I don't think so. Based on what I know of you guys, you believe we should have some national defenses in place to protect our national belief in freedom. Ask yourself this question. If it were the Canadians...
I like this listener.
Dirty,
This is a great listener.
foul Canadians flooding the country, do you think all these people would be fine with it? Sorry, I'm typing this on my phone, so it may not be 100%. What I wanted to get across, but I hope my point is taken, I would also say that I am an open borders type. But even I believe we should monitor those who are coming in, though I disagree with most of what Trump says. I just think that you should be a bit more open-minded and not fall to the level of race baiter and labeling people racist for wanting to protect their perceived haven of freedom known as the USA. I don't know that we ever did that. Now, not everyone sees the flag as a symbol of our borders, but rather the freedoms that they are protected within them. It is not necessarily blind nationalism. Thanks. Peace. So I don't know which episode this was specifically. It's been in the last few months, but I don't think we ever said that anybody who is open borders is an evil person, or anybody who wants to enforce borders is a racist, or any of that.
Well, there's been a lot of the racist for wanting borders.
By whom?
Or no, just in general. Like,
Right.
It's the default assumption that if you don't want to take people in from the 7 countries on the deportation ban, it's because you're an Islamophobe.
Right. You're talking out there, not in here.
Yeah, those people.
Right.
Or they, the Alex Jones,
Now-
ever-present they.
Now, this is awkward because I know that Brett Bittner is a proponent of open borders, and Greg Lenz wants to build a wall and throw you off of it, Brett.
Yes.
That isn't true. I will let any Bittner into my libertarian social order. It's just if his beard gets any longer and he fulfills the path to Jannah, then he's He's no longer allowed.
So if I look like my passport photo again.
Exactly.
Yes.
That Bittner would have never gotten through.
Never.
I'd have planted something in your, or I'd have tweeted to Homeland Security that you were a terrorist while in line.
Well, there is a reason that when I check in at airports, it's right as we're about to take off, because I may or may not have learned a lesson back in May.
It's tough when you're swarthy like we are and have beards.
Oh, absolutely. When
you don't trim it up for a couple days, you get looked at.
A little.
I know.
So
then Aaron's writing "talk beer" on your Facebook page, and the NSA sends it to Southwest.
Who?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Now, why are you open borders, Brett?
Well, I don't believe that the protections that, especially that the listener talked about, are necessarily defined by, or freedom is necessarily defined by an arbitrary line, an imaginary line. We've drawn these on a map. They're not there's very rarely is there an actual physical border. Now, for convenience sake, that we do see that between states. We do see that along the southern border with the river. However, for the most part, they're arbitrarily drawn based on whatever negotiation.
Winston Churchill literally drew up Africa after getting popped at lunch. That's
Really?
why it zigzags all throughout North Africa.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
So for me,
wrong sides of borders. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, no worries. So for me, if the freedom isn't necessarily defined by who's inside and outside these lines, then what does it matter?
Right.
In terms of who can enjoy those freedoms, we actually have taken steps to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
We're leagues ahead of many other nations in that regard, especially with regard to property rights, especially with regard to protections with
constitutional protections against just mob rule.
Against government overreach. Not that they have necessarily worked particularly well. At one time they did, and it's nice to know that we can at least reference them when they're on Chris's wall over there.
It's like looking back at an old memory.
But
those were the good old days.
But because
30 years ago,
those freedoms aren't necessarily defined geographically, I don't know that we should be keeping people from the actual people or from the actual area that is supposed to defend them.
Yep.
Especially when it comes to refugees. One of the things that he mentioned was talking about terrorism, and so by definition, many of the refugees are actually fleeing that. So they are the anti-terrorists. They are running away from the problems. They are running away from the war. They are running away from the poverty. They are running away from the destruction that is happening because of terrorist activity.
No one's killed more Muslims than Islamic terrorists.
Right.
That's the thing, but Americans don't know that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's killer. Because you want to just say, but they also at the same time they coordinate to take advantage of any loophole you give them. So like ISIS makes a magazine, and in the magazine they specifically say you need to immigrate through these countries, and see if you can get past the vetting. And so that does them that is the Skittle argument, like Donald Trump Jr. so eloquently tweeted out.
So the other thing with regard to having a more open or more porous border is it's a defense. The border is a defense of the welfare state. We know that you can't have open borders with a welfare state, and rather than defend the welfare state, I would rather we dismantled it and we
overburden it.
We instead made sure that we were overwhelmed with the freedom rather than and allowed others to enjoy that freedom rather than perpetuate what doesn't help, actually hurts a lot of the people that it's intended to help, and steals from those of us who aren't recipients.
Yep. No, Shane, you want to weigh in on this? Do you have any thoughts in particular about why Muslims are the enemy and we need to get rid of them?
Yes. How would you, Shane, exterminate all Muslims?
I was just going to say it's really hard to give helicopter rides when there's no wall.
Now, we are joking about exterminating all Muslims.
No, this is such a difficult debate, though, because I am of the exact same mindset as Brett. And then there are times, though, where you just come down to this issue and you say, at what point do you I can't get rid of the welfare state. The 1960s radicals like Saul Alinsky, their idea was to overload the welfare rolls in order to cause the system to collapse and institute Marxism or a new socialist society. That doesn't happen. It's a utopian ideal. So what you end up getting is a bloated, unremovable turd the welfare state never gets repealed. Bill Clinton had the biggest conservative welfare reform that's ever happened in the United States, and it was basically just putting a time limit on the amount you could get benefits.
Right.
You just never get rid of these huge institutions. And so given that, I come down on the side, well, I can't get rid of the welfare state, or I don't believe I can in my lifetime. And so if I see the way the Electoral College is shaping up and the way American politics are shaping up, and there's one party that supports tax cuts, and since that's the party that
wait, there's a party that supports tax cuts?
Yeah, corporate tax reform.
Oh, well, yeah, for certain people, for certain goodies, for certain industries, for certain companies, for certain
now I don't
donors,
think
sure.
that's fair at all, because the truth is only 50% of people pay federal income taxes. So you're talking about then it's slightly upper middle class individuals who don't get it, but they still get the earned income tax credit. They still get a lot of subsidies for internet, for basic day-to-day lives. So if you truly account for it, they tried to implement tax reform that actually boosts economic growth where the other party does not. It prevents it, which is bad for human freedom since economics is the foundation of everything. And so I am of the mind where if someone's going to come here and it's too politicized, I can't support open borders and then say I'm shocked when a libertarian society never develops.
Because the message just keeps getting diluted.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same way. Like with, I like the idea of open borders, but
I'm a theoretical open borders.
Yeah, but some of the conversations with Greg I've had about like let's say like New Hampshire, the Free State Project gets off and succeeds, but if they keep importing people from Massachusetts and those massholes keep going up there, and bringing all that crap up from Boston up there, and just keep watering up the message. Now, granted, like New Hampshire does have some of the stuff up there that the people from Massachusetts wants, but they'll still come up there for their tax-free crap. And then go right back. But some of them will use it as their suburbs because they want to live there and not have to,
Because the logical conclusion of anarcho capitalism is everybody in their individual home that no one can trespass on each other's property or face a nuclear attack. Yeah. I mean, that's reduction to the absurd, but I mean, everything's privately owned, so you can only be exactly on your property or what you pay services for. And even the slightest, say you trip and fall onto their sidewalk. The justification is you could hit them with a nuke. Now, you're probably going to kill yourself, but that would prevent, that type of thing. But that's why...
They damaged my concrete.
Right. So, they did.
So, Greg, did you know that 10 years ago I was not of the same mind? I was actually one of those Neil Bortz...
You were.
I was a little...
Great Americans is what I call it.
I was a little upset about people coming over the border, and then in 2008 I actually saw the human story...
Close
a friend of mine, his boyfriend was from China. He was here on a student visa.
Whoa.
Yep. China.
His boyfriend.
Yes.
Donald Trump would not allow this sort of behavior. A Chinese gay man.
Only president to ever be photographed with the LGBT flag.
Chinese gay man, not for it.
Well, he was a spy.
He's not.
That was the real issue.
Right. Yeah.
All Chinese are spies.
Russian gay man, he'd be all for it. Anyway,
yeah.
So your friend.
So my friend, his boyfriend was a student. He was a nursing student at the time, and there still is a nursing shortage in Georgia, as there are in a lot of parts of this country, because there just aren't enough people to handle all of the healthcare that's necessary. I mean, we don't have the human capital to meet the needs of the demand. And so he continued to go to school and continued to go to school. He continued to get degree after degree, but he couldn't get anybody to sponsor him, because to go through the sponsor, I mean, they have to guarantee that they're going to employ him for a certain period of time. And that's a pretty big risk for an employer to take, especially an employer in an at-will state, which Georgia is and was. So I saw the deterioration of their relationship as Scott was no longer able to continue his education here because he had done, or in Georgia, because he had done so much. And so what ended up happening was that Scott immigrated to Canada because it was easier. He couldn't go home because he was a gay man. And, going back to China, that wasn't going to work out well. This was obviously before Obergefell, so it wasn't like they could get married and he could be granted status because of marital status. He also didn't want to lie, which I thought was,
honorable.
Considering what he was doing was the right thing to do.
Some would say most honorable.
wrong Asian culture.
Oh, sorry.
Nice try.
So
but-
racist.
You know how they are. They're just bad drivers.
So I saw
The gays?
Yeah.
I
They're always looking in the mirror.
Have you seen Seth?
I saw the deterioration.
Seth is beautiful.
I saw the deterioration of their relationship, and I saw the struggle and the hurt.
The human cost.
Right, and so that was what changed for me, was actually seeing it in person unfold before my very eyes over the course of a year. I went from being very adamant, no se puede, going to the immigration rallies to be part of the anti-immigration group, carrying the signs, to a year later, I saw what it does, and to me, that wasn't worth it. And then I looked into, I read Jason Riley's book.
What's the name of it?
Let Them In. It's The Case for Open Borders. He talks about the net economic benefit. He talks about all of the positives.
Okay, put down the knife. Put down the German knife, Greg. He's just giving an opinion.
Goebbels.
So I actually started to be a little more open-minded and ended up, when presented with new information, changed my position, which I think is something a lot of libertarians could learn from. If there is new information, if there's something that could potentially change your mind, it's one of the reasons that one of my goals for this year, one of my resolutions, was to read 12 non-political books.
Yeah.
And I'm 4 of 12 already.
Nice.
In March. My plan was to do one a month, but some
What's
of them have
Good
been
books.
stupid.
That means they're good books, though.
What's
Right.
your favorite been so far?
So far, actually, it's been Megyn Kelly's memoir.
Oh, she was... she's awesome, actually. Like, I know she comes off as a condescending bitch, but she was bullied like crazy.
Yeah, and her book is fantastic. I was actually reading it when I was on my way back. When I was able to get around the wall on my way back from Mexico last month, I was flying
that
back
was
and saw a
like
lot.
90% of my supporters. I said Bittner's going on a cruise. If I can get Trump elected, there's a very good chance I can get rid of Bittner.
Well, if you can start on that northern wall,
Yeah.
you have until like the end of April.
You know,
if you can get it done.
I don't have the same hatred for them that he does while he sips the very last drop of his delicious tea.
He said Megyn Kelly, and I was just trying to get him out.
Do those taste like Bittner tears?
Sweet and sour.
No, it's funny. I'm a theoretical. It's the same conflicts I always had with Maya. I am a theoretical voluntarist to an absolute extreme every way. Mm-hmm. It doesn't translate over into reality for me. And like with the human impact, I've experienced that before, and that's why like the more emotional episodes don't do much for me, because I don't believe emotion should play a role in like the actual structures of good governments and freedoms. Because once you abandon logic and start using emotion to dictate decisions, it's that path to dissent. Because then it becomes it can be manipulated.
But from an emotional standpoint, it was the fact that I was able to see the human cost that allowed me to open my mind to some of the economic arguments.
Absolutely.
And some of the other things that I did.
I'm not saying it wasn't beneficial. Yeah, I'm just saying like that would be one I would really struggle with. And it'd be something where I would, but at the same time, the person that was a U.S. citizen, it isn't like they could never be together. They had an alternative option.
Which was for them both to move to Canada?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. But when you have a life and you have a career and all of that, and it's set geographically in one area.
I know, but all of life is a trade-off. Because that same person could say, I'm going to chase my dreams and I don't want this relationship to tie me down.
Sure.
I mean, it's all a trade-off. Like, so that's why, but I mean, that's where Brett and I split. And there's no right or wrong on that. Brett's just every bit as right as I'm probably wrong, because right now a bunch of people are talking about why I might be Hitler.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I do everything I can to not allow emotion to play a role in basically to implementing liberty and pursuing liberty, because I'm always afraid it's going to get manipulated.
What if emotion is doing that though? Because
Or just opens your mind.
Your argument about not letting them and not doing that is based off of fear.
No,
Which is an emotional response.
The idea is that there are already people here that prove it, that collectivists outnumber individuals always.
Yes.
So given that distribution, the more people in general, you are going to continue to dilute yourself out. It's just basic probability.
Not necessarily.
I'd absolutely. I mean, collectivists always outnumber individualists.
No, but I'm just saying, there's not necessarily you can bring more people in, and like technically could strengthen your method versus on the same aspect.
If it were an aberration,
well, that's another thing because like you think because the idea of like thinking like they're going to come in here and dilute the message. Well, they could come in and actually concentrate and actually come in and serve as backup because some of them could think like, wow, this is what I'm running from. I'm not going to bring that here. Now we all, deep the fear in my heart is that they do bring that crap with them.
And theoretically, that's exactly what I believe. The practical reality is people fleeing countries, war-torn countries, are not of they've never heard of Ron Paul.
Correct.
If you trying to sell libertarianism in the middle of a war-torn country is going to get you laughed out of the room. It's like when I try to tell my brother-in-law who came from Paraguay to flee corruption, and he's, for him, it's even, I get it. I am anti-government corruption because I lived it. But, I don't know.
But they're not necessarily coming here for the goodies because they could go anywhere for the goodies. They could go to Europe where there are even more. They could go to Canada where there are even more. The reason they're coming to the United States is for the freedom.
Go to Dearborn, Michigan. It's Dearbornistan. They don't, even here on Southport Road, the Chin people have not assimilated whatsoever. They built their own community based upon their own laws. I mean, Sharia law proves in France and Marseille, they have Sharia courts and the police don't go in and adjudicate. In London, Sadiq Khan. I mean, these are real problems. So if you're saying, when you come from somewhere, it's like the Italians came and brought their culture. That's why you have Little Italy. Right. That's why you have, they don't come in and all of a sudden like abandon cultural years and years of cultural, mindsets. And where are the people, the individual cultures? Where are the rugged individualists cultures in society?
Well, and if it's something that you've always known with your country that you're coming from, a lot of them, how many have been attempted to be liberated and then elected another dictator in?
Right. Sure. There's a reason libertarianism is popular in the United States because of John Locke, because of Thomas Jefferson. Yeah. Those aren't the philosophical founders that they have from years of cultural bias built in. And so you say, well, like the Hispanic culture is more communal. They're also Catholic.
Yep.
They're going to vote left. That's why Texas people are worried because it's going to go blue. It is a real worry.
But when you take a look at what they bring with regard to work ethic and entrepreneurial spirit, I mean,
but then they increase the social welfare state because they vote for leaders who want to increase it.
Well, not
necessarily. Then we're trapped by it.
Not necessarily. Maybe that first generation, but the generation after that. Like I've worked with someone who is, he's a Mexican, but he's legal here in the United States.
95% of people vote the same as their parents.
He voted for Trump. He supports
an anecdotal though isn't.
Hold on. Anecdotal evidence is still evidence.
It is evidence.
Anecdotal evidence is
but
still
the
evidence.
exception doesn't disprove the rule.
But the thing is, most generations like that home culture does bleed off, and they start becoming more Americans. It does happen. It may happen slower for certain different demographics, or just maybe because you're watching that it's happened. I've got several different friends who are like most of their culture, like most of their family is like huge Vietnamese, and they concentrate into this, but their kids are nothing like that. They're one of their sons that I can park my car next to his, and you will think that's my car. He's got gigantic rims on it, big massive subwoofer in the back. That's not my car. That's his.
Why would I think that about you, Harry?
I do want to
what racist stereotypes on me.
I do want to add a little bit of anecdotal evidence to what Harry shared. My family came here. I'm a third generation American. We've been here for less than 100 years. I would say that I'm fully assimilated to the American way of life, to an American culture.
Other than that keto thing, yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's just because I don't believe the government's
But honestly, none of us are because we're all
dietary
libertarians.
guidelines.
None of us have really assimilated because we're all libertarians, and we're the 5% that don't vote how our parents do.
Right. But have we?
So we're a terrible sample set.
Are we, though?
Horrible. 95% vote the same way their parents do. And it's year after year after year.
As somebody who's a second-generation libertarian, I am voting the same way that my parents do.
True.
At least my mom. So I am proving exactly what you're talking about, but it is assimilation, and we're talking in 3 generations. My great-aunt just moved into a home from a Polish neighborhood in Chicago. Everything there is Polish. The signs are in Polish. I mean,
entire southwest side. Completely.
It's her neighborhood is Little Poland in the same way that you have Little Italy in New York and you have Chinatown and San Francisco. And so you take a look at her. She's 95. She just turned 95 last month. She lived in a neighborhood that was completely unassimilated. 2 generations later, I'm completely different. Mm-hmm. But it's just a matter, it just takes the time.
Yeah. But 95, like, this isn't like it's debatable science. Like, it's like 95% of people vote the same way their parents do.
Sure.
Yes.
So we're the aberration. And the point is, are you going to try to overcome 95%? Let's say we get it to 85. Let's say we do the unheard of and get it to 70.
Hey, when you get to 70, then you've at least reached critical mass.
But the state's too big by that point. And we've never actually repealed the welfare state.
We can.
We can't. Based on, this is like a religious debate. I know he's there. I can't see him, but damn it, he's there. He's carrying me. I'm not the one walking.
So I'm third generation as well, and what shocked me this year is that my entire family has voted Democrat. And when I was 18, I told them I wasn't, and the response I got was, "Well, your grandfather would turn over in his grave."
FDR.
And so now I'm libertarian, and my entire family either voted Republican or Libertarian this year, which was awesome because not one person voted Democrat.
Trump is a Democrat. He is a 1960s, 1940s style Democrat, progressive.
Right.
Yeah. So that's nice that they actually follow their ideology. Now, the Trump support may bug some people, but at least they know enough to know what they like when they see it.
Right. Yeah, and it was a pretty cool thing just because they voted Libertarian pretty much everywhere they could, and then when they filled in the blanks with Republicans. So it was.
You think that they will keep voting Libertarian if you don't run?
I do, yeah. I think I've done a good
I think
job
we do a pretty good job of influencing. I mean, my dad, who's been a lifelong Republican, in 2010 actually voted for the governor candidate in Georgia, who happened to be the first black candidate on the general election ballot in Georgia. John Mons.
Mons, that's what it is.
I was his spokesman, and it was actually one of the reasons that he voted for him was because he saw me on TV talking about him. And he wasn't aware that I was working on the campaign and wasn't aware that I was working with John. John also happens to be one of the first libertarians to earn 1 million votes in the United States as a libertarian candidate. Absolutely unheard of, and he's done it once and almost did it a second time. But he ended up voting not only for John, but for the rest of the libertarians in 2010 because that sparked a conversation where I pointed to the hypocrisy of the Republican Party. I pointed to the hypocrisy of their supposed fiscal conservatism. I pointed to the hypocrisy of corporatism instead of capitalism. And that continues to be a way that he examines candidates. Now, there may be libertarians that he can't support because they aren't. They are more socially liberal. They are more my brand of libertarian, only because I tend to focus on the social issues because as I've discussed before, to me, the economics just make sense. So when it comes to persuasion, my focus is more on the social issues. Because, again, to me, having spent time growing up, seeing, understanding demand and supply curves, I get it. Yeah. I was an economics major at the University of Georgia. I understand how that works. But to me, you're going to get more out of bringing people over on the social issues because you are going to be able to use the emotional argument of the human story as I was changed, as I saw, and what changed me from being kind of a hard right conservative libertarian into one who's more of a bleeding heart.
Yeah, like a Ron Paul style libertarian more so.
Right.
Yeah. That hasn't been my experience. I mean, it's an individual experience thing. I know I was shocked because I would have thought the wall would be politically toxic. I would have thought that the banning of... Oh, you okay? I would have thought the banning of... Cat just made a commentary that Brett is a unpaid ambassador for the state of Georgia in the north.
Well, and I also happen to be wearing one of my favorite
state official branded
outfits. Yeah.
The only university in the state.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't wear my shoes today.
Oh, you didn't wear your Nikes?
Well, no, they are, but just not the Georgia ones.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, and so for me, I don't know. I guess I come down on the side where I will always see the left as the enemy, and so I'll never think that it is a worthy cause to court their vote. Like that's why with Gary, I loved Gary Johnson. He was the right candidate to run, but damn it, this would have been a good election for a Ron Paul style libertarian with a lot of disgruntled Republicans, and we could have maybe got to 5% because we got real close. But I just have not seen many Democrats other than the exceptional, or like the rare exception, or they vote out of protest because of Bernie getting screwed, not because they supported Gary. They hated Hillary.
Right.
And so I don't know. I will never think that at the end of how I see this all playing out is the end of the day, they're individualists and collectivists. The story of human history is that collectivists outnumber the individualists, and letting more in and giving them more access to political institutions is in time going to result in a bigger and bigger welfare state that it's never been able to be repealed yet.
All right, let's end on that topic and let's move on to our next question. Todd Staggs writes, Todd Staggs Jr., hello, everyone at We Are Libertarians. I am new to the podcast. I have been listening to the past episodes, and I effing love them. You're all great. Couple things. First, Maya is awesome. You should have her on more often. Just listened to the podcast where she hosted with Harry, and I think pure awesomeness. Just saying. Literally every person in the room shook their head when I read have Maya on more often.
Well, I think you have to ask Harry.
Harry even hosted that episode and didn't. But you will get more Maya. We're working on a project. She's in Denver with the Peppers brothers, and there may be.
They're jiggling to the left as we speak.
They are working on a super secret project that I'm talking about in front of 6,000 people.
It's like Reddit for your ears.
Yes. So yes, look for that soon. Number 2, I was wondering what your thoughts are on the TV show Utopia, especially since there is one cat on there named that his label is libertarian. He doesn't seem too awful libertarian to me, but I digress. I haven't seen it. Anybody else seen Utopia?
I haven't seen it.
All right.
Oh, was that the reality show
Heck
that was
if I know.
on?
They named their cat libertarian.
Like 3 episodes or something, then they all.
He was saying cat, like jive cat, you know. Not like cat here or my cat, but this cat over here, like dude.
Got it.
Where's he? Oh, that's an interesting. You don't hear that ever. Like this cat over here.
Number 3. Also, one of the podcasts you were mentioning areas around the country that are very libertarian leaning. One area that I know of is Asheville, North Carolina. There's a guy named Justin Stout there that is kind of the big organizer down there. They have an organization, don't know if it is considered that really, called the Blue Ridge Liberty Project. It is very interesting what he is doing, trying to get like-minded people together in the same spot in the name of liberty. Anyway, just wanted to say hey and that I enjoyed the podcast. Thank you so much, Todd. Don't know anything about the Blue Ridge Liberty Project.
Kane is actually part of that.
Really? Okay.
He's done a little bit of work. I know he spoke at an event of theirs, and I believe he's a supporter.
What's his real name? I can never remember.
Glenn Jacobs.
This one comes from David. Hey, guys, I've been listening to your podcast for almost 3 years now, and I'm pretty sure that I hear every episode, even the ones where you just talk about memes.
They're our best episodes.
Absolutely. In addition to keeping me entertained while renovating a barn in rural Montana in the dead of winter, you guys have also helped me drop some personal baggage. I was a paratrooper in the 82nd Airborne Division, and I spent a year in Baghdad. I struggled for a long time with my war. Had a lot of guilt, but listening to your show actually helped me put things in perspective and start to forgive myself. I don't know if that was ever your guys' intent, but thanks. It inspired me to take a lot of that energy and get involved in Veterans for Peace, and I just recently started a Facebook page where I'm going to collect stories and interviews from veterans, family members, and even civilians caught in the middle of war. I wrote the first story about myself and will be releasing the future ones every other week, probably. Here's the link to his first post, and I would love it if you guys would check it out. Thanks again, Dave. And if you want to get in touch with Dave Payseno, Payseno. And thank you so much for that note, Dave. That's super.
Paisano?
Paisano?
Yeah,
Paisano?
Paysano.
You know I will always get every listener's name wrong.
Then not going to work here anymore.
One of the things that I think is really interesting, and I found that some of the most ardent anti-war libertarians are
former
veterans. My friend Doug Craig in Georgia. Chris Mayo. Danny Adams. Some of these guys have really, they were vets. Doug Harmon also. 3 former chairmen of the Libertarian Party of Georgia were all vets, and some of them saw actual action. And
were they baby boomers too?
No, they're a little younger than that.
Because that's why my dad's so anti-war, because they lying about Vietnam and the Gulf of Tonkin and basically
no, they
were
in the 80s.
Okay,
I believe Doug
Desert
Harmon was
Storm
in
and
the
Saddam.
Coast Guard. Doug Craig was on a nuclear submarine. Danny Adams was in Germany. I mean, he was there in peacetime, but it was still in the 80s where you didn't know what was happening.
You
with
would have
the Cold
seen it from
War
83 to 88. Saddam Hussein go to our greatest strategic regional ally and information hub to, why didn't we go ahead and push him all the way back to Baghdad?
Right.
After the Kuwaiti oil fields. And so no wonder you would be, wait, I thought this was our friend. Rummy told me.
Rummy told me.
I could trust Saddam.
But I just think that's interesting that the most ardent anti-war libertarians that I found are veterans.
Absolutely. I think that you would be.
I think it's a great recruiting ground, honestly, just being in the military for so many of those guys.
I mean,
because they see what's wrong
in Iraq
firsthand.
I mean, how many Iraqi veterans have you talked to that come back and say, we're doing the right thing? They're either quiet about it or they're outright vocal and critical of it.
Yep.
Or they're Adam Kokesh.
Yeah.
Insane.
Well, I just meant ardently anti-war.
They have that militant anarchist personality and
Yeah.
can't stop talking about it.
A little too much. He was at the Antelope Club one night, and I was having a meeting downstairs, and I was like, maybe I should go up and meet him. No, I'm just going to sit here and keep talking to Cat.
That flight of stairs.
Flight of stairs seems real...
Those 18 steps are just way too
cost
far.
too high, truth.
Listen,
if I really, you should come down 9. I'll meet him halfway.
And I don't know why I feel that way. He may be a perfectly lovely person, and a lot of our listeners, I'm sure, love Adam Kokesh. But to me, I don't know what it is. There's just something where I'm just like, I don't want to meet that guy. I just don't have a desire.
There's something charming about Alex Jones's craziness, like militant mindset, because you're like, he sells water filters.
He's
like,
hilarious.
Whereas Kokesh, you feel like he might snap.
He's just he's angry. Yeah. So
I don't know. There's none of the slight likability about his anger and animosity.
That's why I don't know that I'd want to go to Porkfest or like it seems like so many of the black and yellows are just very angry people.
No, they're very peaceful, very calm, very, especially when they got their weed.
Hey, Harry's pretty zen,
Yeah,
I know.
I'm pretty zen, yeah.
I know you two are
very chill,
bitching it up over at the yoga. So
3 times a week.
Yeah,
3 times a week.
Your demeanors have become very namaste since you've started your yoga.
You know what? We can touch our toes, man.
You can. Harry's always been able to. I saw the Vermin Supreme Jersey Turnpiking on him. In drag, no less.
All right, now this may have echoes of our first question, so we don't need to spend a lot of time on it, but I thought that since it relates to the first one, we ought to answer it. It's very well written, very well thought out.
I was unbelievable. I was amazed.
Dude,
the quality of our listeners is incredible.
Yeah. See, I have more. I talk to our listeners all the time. Greg is up in his ivory tower screeching.
No,
and so
only
obviously
people that,
the ivory tower.
The people that like me message me and we talk all the time.
Right.
No one else does. And so you are like, you only get complaint. Like, people won't complain to me. They'll complain. They'll go to you. They'll never address me directly. They'll go to Spangle and say, handle him.
I'm sure you get complaints about me all the time too, though.
Never.
Really?
Nothing.
Maybe from Rob Kendall.
No.
They already know what your response is going to be.
Yeah, they know. If you come to me with bitching, I'm just going to be like,
run along.
Yeah, get out of here, hon.
Run along,
chop,
hon.
chop. Man talk.
By the way, if you're here, you need to go make me a sandwich. Thanks, Harry.
Can I get a scotch on the rocks?
That's right.
Yeah, Rob Kendall and I are currently having a beef. We're having a rap beef.
And it's not. We tried to make it a staged wrestling style feud,
then it
got a little real.
But he doesn't. I don't know that he knows how to tease.
You two know exactly how to get to each other is the problem.
Oh yeah.
You know the exact right button to push, and you love to get as close to it as you can.
Well, one of the rules
on it.
You just don't mess with somebody's money, and he executed a work wrong and had to be put in timeout. And so I offered to take him out of timeout, and I friended him again after blocking him for several weeks.
And that was the worst thing you could do, because he shows me, he goes, I'm just going to let it sit.
Yeah, well, I rescinded it.
I know. And then he shows me that you took it away.
And so guess what? For somebody who has done a lot to help Mr. Kendall...
Hosted his show.
I hosted his show a long time ago. I've brought him on this program to the ire of our audience. When potential employers reach out to him for his dream job, I put him over. I say nothing but nice things. You know what I get in return? I get shitty comments on Facebook.
No good deed goes unpunished.
No, and so Rob Kendall is banned from We Are Libertarians until he apologizes for being so mean to me. Publicly apologizes. He can come on the show.
Does he have to kiss your ring like Nick Sarwark did?
No. Nick knows his place.
I love it.
Rob can come on We Are Libertarians and apologize. He can do it on Facebook. He can make a meme. But I need an apology.
I think you should require it be in meme form.
No, because no,
You just want to see a guy that doesn't meme all the time.
I'm benevolent.
A shit meme.
I mean, he can reach out to you know who I bet he's friends with. I bet he's friends with the person we don't name, who left us.
He abandoned everybody. It's really sad.
So,
none of us have enough swag to hang out with Lord of Bucktown.
Blue filter.
Yep.
So many people.
So brave.
So many people are messaging me going, "Is Aaron okay?"
Me too.
Yeah,
That's what I get
awesome.
messaged about.
Who okay?
So funny.
Pick up the mic.
Who's okay?
You have to talk on the mic if you want to
Cat.
talk, Cat.
Come on, Gat.
Yeah.
No,
We're going to be accused of being chauvinist if you don't pick up that microphone.
She refuses.
Here, I will do the ultimate feminist move, and I'll hold it.
Put that phallic thing right in her face.
Right, yeah, that's
Be a real
a little
feminist.
suggestive.
Take it.
I'm just.
It isn't going to speak into itself, hun.
I've done a lot for. I don't ask for much, and I take a lot. I am the punching bag of a lot of different people, and listen, if I ask you not to make certain jokes and you continue, I have to block you. Especially when I gently say several times after, if you don't quit, I'm going to block you. I wasn't kidding. And so now you're banned from my kingdom, a very powerful kingdom that has given you much. And if you want back in, you have to come and apologize. You have to come before me. And
I wonder if he'll listen.
Listen, it's not about me. It's about the audience. He must come and apologize to the audience of We Are Libertarians for the slights against the empire.
Virtue signaling.
He has
The greater good of the audience.
The audience is me, and I am the audience. Okay, and so
Inseparable.
he has greatly offended all of us, and so I want the We Are Libertarians listeners to give him no quarter. Okay,
Fourth Amendment.
there will be no quarter for this traitor to the empire until he comes and begs you for mercy. Okay? Are we all in agreement? It doesn't matter because
It's your empire.
It's my empire.
I thought this was a
This is not a democracy.
No, you are here
You
under
can vote.
You
There's
exist
one
at my
ballot.
pleasure.
There's
There's one ballot, one choice on it.
I
You
had-
get to vote.
We have-
Shocking outcome.
Sign your name.
We have a secret Facebook group that you can join by going to the front page of We Are Libertarians, and
Although you've been purging it lately.
I have had to, yes, because
Blocking a lot of purging in 2017 for Chris Spangle.
2017 is the year of blocked. We've blocked ex-girlfriends. We've blocked best friends like Rob Kendall. I think I've blocked Aaron. I've blocked.
No, he blocked you. He blocked all of us.
That's true.
He left us all.
Man, I blocked a lot of people. I blocked chicks I've made out with on Saturday. I blocked a lot of people.
That was a good call.
That was a good call.
That was a good call.
Yeah. Listen, there's nothing worse than when someone comes over, you have a good time, and then they leave, and then you get a message from the boyfriend that you didn't know about.
I tried to warn you. I said, run, cancel, do whatever you can to get out.
Hey,
I
do
don't
that.
know.
Hey, I was just at your apartment. What was happening in there? Absolutely nothing was happening in there, but he doesn't know that. So, and I'm never.
If you had the cameras hooked up, let me in.
Oh, the cameras are hooked up now, especially with all the new equipment and the threat of murder. I
tried to warn you.
I'm building
Did
the wall.
nothing.
Right.
who hasn't been there though?
See, here's the thing.
Exactly. Who hasn't been there?
We were discussing a woman for Greg, and I said, Greg, you cannot date this woman because I am attracted to her, which means she's insane. That is, if a woman is attracted to me or I am attracted to a woman, she is crazy. Would you say that's fair?
You have no interest in the ones that show it to you because they're too basic. So I don't like the ones that are like,
Simple's a better word.
yeah, they're too simple. They're not. There's no drama. Spangle likes the drama.
Oh yeah.
I even when I don't want the drama, I'm just like,
You get bored if it's basic and rom-coms.
I've got to have a mental challenge. So, Kat, do some crazy shit before you leave, please. Then you can enter my kingdom. And so, Yes.
I think you have that
Kinda
backwards.
weird, right?
I was going to say,
I mean, unless we're
he
talking
likes to be
about a
entered.
Miranda pegging thing like last week.
Listen, if you're going to come here, you must bring offerings.
No judgment.
We'll do that. We'll do that old trick where I give Greg the wink, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm just going to talk to her. Why don't you get the fuck out?"
Like Grindley?
Yeah. Okay. So yes. This is yes. Rob Kendall. He will never be spoken of again until he comes and apologizes to the Empire. Mm-hmm. Hi, guys. This is from Alex. Hi, guys. I wanted to comment on Chris's view on multiculturalism and mass immigration, how it's somehow going to work out fine. I think it is a somewhat idealistic view of reality. Before you label me as an alt-right troll, I have been listening to this podcast since 2013, and I have identified as an ANCAP. However, the social phenomena that has been happening since the Crimea situation in my country made me question if the principled libertarian stance is robust enough against the aspects of human nature it's ignorant about.
God, we have smart listeners.
One such aspect, I believe that this young man may be somewhere from the Russian region because he has a very Russian last
He's from
name.
Ukraine, isn't he?
I don't know.
Well, you said Crimea. That would be northern Ukraine, now part of Russia.
He could be on the Russian side. I don't know.
He could have hacked Trump or
could've.
hacked Hillary.
We're reading this, and now we're Russians.
Hello, Lucifer.
One such, like, I had Russian dressing on my salad today, so clearly
You're on
I've
the
been
watch
hacked.
list.
Right. It's insane what's going on with this. It's crazy. One such aspect is why I disagree with the idealistic notion that you can let millions of people into your country without simultaneously moving toward a more totalitarian state. As you probably know, in the Republic, Plato... Greg's nipples just got so hard.
God, I love our listeners.
Abolishes...
This is actually my sock. I wrote this. So you're doing a wonderful job.
As you probably know, in the Republic, Plato abolishes the family because otherwise people would be more loyal to their families than to the state. If we were to arrange a person's relationships in the order of decreased loyalty, we'd have something like children, self, other relatives, people in the community, people of the same ethnic group.
It Takes a Village by Hillary Clinton.
Of the same country, the state. Now, Plato posits that in order for the state to work, it has to destroy all relationships with a higher loyalty ranking. You might be pointing out the obvious fact that the community comes before ethnicity. The sense of community is destroyed by urbanization. I think the multiculturalism is how the ruling elites are trying to destroy the ethnic factor of social cohesion. Every socialist regime has followed the blueprint of the Republic. Doesn't this study confirm it? Doesn't Hayek attribute the rise of Germany's totalitarian regime to the absence of a common culture among the unified German states, and thus the need for the state to provide an artificial one? Here's a hypothesis. What if you need your ethnic core to be a dominant majority in order to preserve the culture? What if the new arrivals just won't adopt your culture unless the country is overwhelmingly populated by native people? I don't remember the name, but in my philosophy class, the professor mentioned a study which concluded that once a nation assimilates itself more than a certain percentage of foreigners, it ceases to exist. I didn't care 2 years ago if my race ceases to exist, but if that means our culture goes with us, I'm not sure I'm okay with that. Sure, if our culture is as good as I think it is, the new people will eventually develop it, but how much time will pass in the this Russian speaks better English than I do.
Doesn't take much.
Interregnum.
Shamed.
Brett, you have an IQ of 180, supposedly.
I didn't say 180.
What is that word?
Which one? Undermined?
Interregnum.
Oh.
How do you say that?
How much time will... I think he means interim.
Okay.
Because he's talking about time.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much time will pass in the interim is
All
what
right.
I believe.
I meant interim. I wrote Ingenote.
Oh, there you go.
It's INTERREGNUM. Somebody Google that.
Strategery.
And doesn't it... Listen, he may be smarter than me. It's 100% probable. This is very well written and nothing I could do. And doesn't it also imply that our particular system of beliefs is wrong since it undermines its own existence? This is the reality check. We don't live the ideal world where the state doesn't exist and immigration is controlled by private property. You might disagree with my premise that, in order to preserve the culture, you need to be an overwhelming majority, or two, the state grows more totalitarian as social cohesion weakens, and the ethnic factor is a powerful social force against it. Or you might think that different ethnicities could have a better common culture naturally evolve without the state intervention. I guess I'm a conservative pessimist, but show me a nation where that has happened. Interregnum is a period when normal government is suspended between the successive reigns or regimes. So I told you.
They know it there because it happens
calendar.
a lot.
Yeah.
In countries that don't have stable transitions, it's very popular.
Right.
It's that 15 minutes when the old president he's already on his way out. He's sitting there with his wife watching the new one being sworn in. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So Alex,
they just happen, and sometimes the transition never takes place in 99% of the other countries.
So great letter from Alex. Thoughts on this?
I mean, for me, that's the hardest thing. Is it's easy to be libertarian given our experience and given where we live. It is hard to say that borders don't work when you lived in Poland and you were cut up like a pizza between the Russians and the Germans. You know, it is something where reality and the theoretical just cannot be implemented. You end up, in my opinion, you just end up inviting your demise. And I will always believe that. Otherwise, realistically, I would have no issue with pure democracy. The reason I am a constitutional Republican, or a constitutional minarchist, or whatever form you want to put that to, is because you have got to have concrete protections against mob rule, and an institution you can go and have and say this is where it's being infringed, and someone to adjudicate it. If you do not, it's on you. Justice is on you, and I don't want to live in that world. And mob rule. If you don't have something to protect the growth of government, all we have shown, as soon as the United States had a revolution, we couldn't wait to throw the chains right back on of government. Like, human history is light revolutions and human liberty, and then, oh my God, where's the money coming from tomorrow?
Yep, the endless walls.
Right.
Peace and revolution will beat on forever.
Perfect. Harry Price, Satoshi Nakamoto. You didn't even do it in Japanese either. I'm so impressed.
Yeah, that's from the Japanese anime Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. Yeah, history is much like an endless waltz. The 3 beats of war, peace, and revolution will beat on forever.
It's just waves. Which side of the wave do you exist in? In my opinion, It's not.
At least until something like breaks up the beat, basically.
Like Trump,
drops the beat, Harry.
Yeah, so there's got to be some white person that's got to be able to take us off this beat.
Well, white people usually.
This guy won Michigan for the first time.
All right, let's move on to the next question. After I yawn, so talk amongst yourselves.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be like. I feel like this is going in a direction that's bad because, just because I believe what I believe doesn't mean it's right. Like, it's just what I believe. And so, I get nothing but criticism from libertarians. So, I'm not sure I'm right. It's just my experiences and what I've read, and that's the way I see it developing. But I am open borders if everybody's playing by the same rules and there's no state to take advantage of.
I feel you. I feel that, yeah. The ability to come in and everyone's plays on with the same rule book, yeah, that's what you want. It's close as fair as you can get.
Right.
But it's when people come in and they try to use mob rule and use the state against you and they don't make it fair. That fear makes you want to build a wall and keep them from coming out because that's not playing fair. And if you have political enemies that would like to bring people in and give everything to these type of people to go again and then screw you back over an election, yeah, it's fair.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I had a joke about being Cherokee, but at the same time, couldn't help but notice a wall would have been helpful at Plymouth Rock. In hindsight, then we got casinos, but it took a little while, and we had to go on a little walk for a bit under Jackson.
That walk would have been ruined by a wall. You have to go around that wall.
See, that's what, it is. A lot of lessons from history are forgotten.
No, you just have 84 lumber build the door.
That's a good point. I've seen Jurassic Park. They have one of those.
All right,
one of those grand entrances.
You see the logo.
Let's do
toured. Oh, God.
Let's do one more question because I've got to get to Target to buy cat litter before they close. Hey, listen.
What's wrong with Meijer? They're open 24 hours.
Meijer, I went. I've been 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
And they're out of the cat litter.
Walmart's an exit down.
Why don't you just go Amazon
It's
it?
Walmart.
Just Amazon Prime.
But it's
People
at
at
night.
Walmart.
You can get a subscription. It just shows up.
Walmart. Yeah. It's what I do with dog food.
You're sitting there in a t-shirt and gym shorts, and you just ate an open mouth Chick-fil-A sandwich.
And
don't act elitist.
I'm not going to Walmart. Okay, that's where they go.
Oh,
You
know
just
where you
gotta-
should go? You should go
I
to the
didn't mean-
Beach Grove Walmart.
I
Which
love
day
it.
is that? Is that Alex Jones's day?
No,
Yes.
that's poor people. Okay, have you ever smelled a poor person? It's disgusting.
Don't you know we're in a very luxury apartment here?
We are.
A poon palace, really.
Really?
I got that vibe when I walked in.
Yeah, I mean she's
When you
been
were finally
It was
able
all
to walk
mic'd
in.
up, right?
A lot of pheromones.
A lot of pheromones in here.
she's been squirming the whole time she's been in here. What do you got over there? What are you doing?
Kendall's doing some commentary.
What do you mean? Did somebody leak this already?
Wait.
Where's the
We
Russians?
can't mention. It's another name we can't mention.
I can't. He can't.
Who?
I can.
No,
I
he
can
said
refer to
he's-
RK.
No. He said that. He
Oh
was,
no, I'll say
Is that R.
Rob's
Kelly?
name. I like
Okay.
I
Yeah, R.
listen.
Kelly.
I don't want
R.
people.
Kelly.
I don't want people to misunderstand me. I like Rob, and Rob is one of my friends. Rob hurt my feelings, and he needs to come and apologize for it.
To the listeners.
And
For the greater good.
to the listeners
Publicly.
And he-
Preferably on his show for an
he-
entire segment.
listen, he humiliated me in public, and so now he must come and apologize in public. Otherwise,
Eye for an eye.
Otherwise, he can't come and be a part of the We Are Libertarians empire, which has done a lot of good things for him. I have done a lot of good things for him. I never pursued Haley for one. I was
It was an inconvenient
Oh, right.
picture that got sent on Snapchat.
Listen, he had every right to be mad about that. It was a mistake. I was sending it to a coworker.
He said, "Look at this watch. Does that look weird? Look how small this thing is on the airplane."
It was a picture of Dick and Balls with funny glasses on it, and it was for
Easy to classic. Mix
Right,
up.
yeah,
Classic.
classic.
it was for Jeff, not for Haley. So
Of course, it was for Jeff.
I like Rob, and he hurt my feelings, and I think I'm
We will
owed
get
an
it worked out.
I'm owed an apology.
We will have a ginger beer summit between the two of you.
That's right. So I like Rob, but he needs to do what's right here
for the listeners.
for the listeners.
I've never met Rob.
You've never met Rob Kendall. You'd love
never
Rob
met
Kendall.
Rob will tell
He's
you
your kind of guy.
if you're not up to speed on Rob, just wait a few moments. Rob will tell you all about Rob, especially about his greatest love and the person that he loves the most, Donald Trump, whom he met once. Bruce.
I did listen to Greg.
Listen,
Bruce is a close second.
I have not blocked Bruce. Bruce is a good boy. Bruce
he
deserves.
is our emotional support animal.
He is a
and
Maya-
donor.
As through this emotional time where Rob and I have been beefing and having a rap beef, I have relied on Bruce a lot. He and I message back and forth. I tell him what a good boy he is, and he lets me rub his belly. And he's helped me through some tough times.
Sent nudes.
I sent him nudes of my cat's asshole. Lauren writes, so one final question so I can make it to get cat litter.
Tarjay.
That's the funniest. That's worse than the premium firewood at Menards before 10. The bagged firewood. I'm sorry.
Of course.
Scented.
Listen, they have compressed firewood, the compressed sawdust that's $2.98, and you get 6 logs. It burns real hot, it burns real clean, and it's a Chris Spangle recommended product.
Spearmint scented.
So no spearmint. It smells like nothing because it's sawdust. There's no crackling. It has no character to it, but it makes a lovely flame. So please go to Menards today and pick up some. What is it called? It's
Non-firewood firewood.
It's like green energy firewood.
Oh God, I hate it.
Yep.
That's why to work in the plug.
That's right. If
Is that
Greg
the
and
new
I-
show sponsor?
no.
That would be awesome.
No, I'll tell you. More details coming. Just a preview. This is the funniest thing ever. Our buddy Aaron is sponsoring the podcast. Not the one we don't talk about it anymore. But our friends who run a hop farm in Bartholomew County. So they produce hops for beer making.
For all the microbreweries.
Yep.
Nice.
And so we will be doing an interview with them, and we'll be doing maybe some We Are Libertarians lives down there at the hop farm. I said, I do not drink. Is that a problem? And they said, no, we do it enough for you. So, hey, this is from Lauren. Lauren is a very nice listener. Hey, listening to your podcast on LGBT and the Panama Papers a long time ago. These are very old, stale letters that I've dusted off, and so we need some fresh ones. So get us some dank emails.
Spicy emails.
At editor@wearelibertarians.com. Seth made a statement that the only moral exchange is completely voluntary. I've been a libertarian, a minimal statist, for about a decade, and I'm an attorney and business owner in Boise, Idaho. And this undefined term of voluntary has plagued me since my first Liberty event in 2007. What is the scope of voluntary? Libertarians are good about the answer in extremes, but awful in the middle. If you take a job you hate, and most of us aren't,
Howard Rourke from Atlas or from Fountainhead.
Never read it. So you can earn a minimal living. I've got cat litter to buy. Okay, I don't have time to read 800-page novels. Okay, by some old.
There's
bitch.
a rape scene.
Fountainhead's
She was a sexual freak.
And Ayn
Sick
Rand.
to think about because giving her picture, but
Yeah.
Well, knowing Chris's proclivities, was she somebody's stepsister?
Don't you listen?
she did flee Nazi totalitarianism.
You have issues. Don't
crazy
make me
liberal.
like I'm some sort of freak. This is the hottest new rage in all of pornography. Okay, and it's not actual
It's
stepsisters.
tough being a trendsetter in the first of the wall.
It's not actual stepsisters. They're porn stars
What?
pretending. Yeah, and it's hilarious.
I can't believe
The
that.
acting is so bad. It's like this girl's like, I'm going to magic school.
You just offered a critical review of the acting in stepsister porn.
In the middle of a listener email, by the way.
I know.
You got distracted. Right. The acting is terrible, really. I can't get over it.
Unbelievable.
I'm still triggered.
Market. If you're, is it voluntary? Is it voluntary if you're limited by a natural market barrier? Natural market barriers. The only baker in town. What threshold of information on asymmetry could alter the voluntariness of an exchange? I think the liberty movement remains limited by this gray area in ethics. What do you think? If you are in Boise, Idaho, check out Lauren McConnell and see her for all your lawyerly needs. Now, listen, maybe I don't know what kind of attorney she is, but I'm sure if you're in Boise, you got some problems. You got, a DUI or a child thing or, go check her out. Like child support problems, I'm trying to give her a plug, okay?
Those are several different specialties. So.
Well, I don't know what she is, so I was trying to cover many.
Is
of
it
them here.
OREN or AUREN?
LAUREN. Of course it is.
Not
We have many
necessarily.
female. We have
yes.
many female.
Not
listeners.
necessarily.
W is for men.
It's current year.
W or OREN.
LOREN.
Unless they're one of those creative spellers, which I fucking hate.
Bittner, do I need to get more Chick-fil-A? All
You'd
right.
like.
Now let's go to
Pick me up some
Spangle, we've
nuggets.
been lying. It's not even in the top. It's nowhere on here.
You're
Shane
kidding?
did the great honor of pulling up the list of.
Shane, of course, has the YouPorn analytics
Is it-
handy at all
is it-
times.
Oh, it's 2015 though.
Oh,
I have a feeling this
see?
is a relatively new
talking
development.
about- he's talking about it's
Cutting
the-
edge porn.
No,
Cutting edge.
so here's
Bleeding edge.
Avant
even.
garde.
Here's what I
Bleeding edge.
surmise happened. Okay, you've got the backroom casting couch phenomenon of 2015, which was how high up was BCC on that list right there.
Which is how this place looks.
You just knew the abbreviation, the terminology.
Backroom casting couch,
Not on it.
not on that list in 2015.
Number one is lesbian. Two
Well.
is teen.
Okay, that's creepy.
Where's Seth when you need him?
Right.
We have MILF up there in the top. Ebony is in the top 5.
Yeah, Harry.
Sure.
Harry's
Hentai, top 6.
No, it isn't.
Hentai
Yes.
is in the top
Well,
6.
I mean, Harry's got to do something.
yeah.
He's got
At least
2
it's not
though.
cake.
It's not fair. He's got 2 in the top 10.
Ebony
Hentai
and
Ebony.
hentai. Yeah.
Yeah, there's female friendly is up there.
What? Oh, that's like the sappy.
Love story or
Yeah,
something.
like
I don't know.
you like the soft music,
Never seen
Cat.
it.
You like a nice romantic theme. Yeah.
So is it like HBO kind of
No,
stuff that they put on?
It's hardcore, but it's got like in the background.
And the
Did you know that
storylines
from
are
memory,
better.
or did you just make up a little jingle?
I just made up a jingle,
That was good.
but I've got one in my head that I
Cartoon is a new one on this list. What is the difference between cartoon and hentai?
American
Well,
and
the
Japanese.
thing, American
that-
and Japanese, because there's the difference of Scooby Doo and Naruto.
Gotcha.
That's your difference.
Okay.
One is
See, if you
the
like
right
Hanna
kind.
But they
Barbera,
both made the top 15.
well, because if you like one, it's an easy jump to the other. Or if one doesn't go through enough extreme, like if you want a little bit more tentacles, you just
You've
go
never
to
been
hentai.
curious
If you
about
don't
Asian?
wanna-
A cartoon Asian.
Never a cartoon
Never
Asian.
occurred to you that I can handle a cartoon Asian.
so
I have
so
not.
All right, so back to the plot.
Yeah,
So-
back to
backroom casting couch stopped putting out new videos on all the free sites, and so people had to go elsewhere, and so they naturally filtered over to stepsister porn. You know,
Where else would you go?
right? Kinky family. You got to get in on it.
Well, we've already created a subcategory in Bucktown. With Prout and Sprowler.
Prowler and Sprout. We will soon have our favorite redneck girl, Hannah, on, who has 2 uncles named Prowler and Sprout. Christian names, mind you, okay? Not nicknames, given names.
Yeah. Birth, government acknowledged.
I'm going to have to see...
I'm
I need to see the documents, you guys.
You're sounding like Trump. I need to see your long-form birth certificate.
We started talking about porn, and Kat's really going to town on that bottle.
You're not even kidding.
She's giving a hand job to that bottle.
Yeah, that's true.
She's so red.
She is.
I do have the top 10 for 2016 now.
All right, let's go. All right, let's hear it.
All right, here we go. Number 10 is Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Which does hentai fit into that?
Yeah.
No,
it's an umbrella.
Completely different, yeah.
Number 9 is massage.
What?
Yeah. The massage ones are nice.
Number 8 is hentai.
Uh-huh.
See here.
Harry seems...
Number 7 is cartoon. So cartoon made a jump of 11 spots over 1 year.
That seems so weird to me.
That's like the Simpson
6
porn
is
stuff
mom.
that you see on ads, and you're like, gross.
Right.
Did you guys just hear number 6?
No.
Mom.
Is that where the mom and the daughter, the mom, like, this is the
What?
Mom.
It's the funniest thing to me.
Not stepmom.
And you know the example they use? Claire Huxtable, and that's racist.
That's like the funniest thing when you see, like, oh, I just caught you with your boyfriend. Oh, you're not doing that right. Let me teach you. Like,
You could do a podcast
Number
on
5
porn
is
analysis.
stepsister.
Oh.
see, we're going up.
You moved from not
Next
on the
year,
charts
from
in
unranked
15 to
to
number
5.
5.
Well,
Yep.
I take it back. You have no odd fetishes.
No, I do not. I'm very, very.
Vanilla stepsister.
super vanilla.
Teen dropped down 2 spots to number 4.
See,
Well,
that's
stepsister and teen.
No, it's different.
MILF is at number 3, what's the difference between MILF and mom? 'Cause
Well,
both
you don't
words
wanna
are
fuck
used in
mom.
both.
Set up. It's all about the script.
The script.
Do we have
Production
any
value.
Number 2 is stepmom.
See,
There's a lot of mom stuff
people
going
are
on
into some weird
Pornhub
mom
right now.
shit.
And number 1 is still lesbian.
Game of Thrones has had a cultural effect.
Yep.
It has had it. Like in what was the other one that had it in it?
Full Lannister.
Oh no, Boardwalk Empire. Jimmy Darmody, or I think that was his name.
I don't remember that.
You didn't
one.
watch that with Steve Buscemi?
It's been forever.
Oh.
So back to Lauren's thoughtful email.
Yeah. Now that you've had
Sorry,
that.
Basically,
Lauren.
are you free in a society without stepsister porn? How can you have freedom if you don't know what true freedom is with it?
She's probably like
Dying.
Lauren has she wrote this probably a year ago, and she's been waiting every episode. When are they going to get to mine?
She's probably already given up.
I'm going to share this with my friends and family when they finally read my letter, and then we ruin it with stepsister
It's
porn.
like when Mayo's on to talk about homeschooling.
Oh, that was the funniest episode we've ever done.
The creation of little Brett Bittner.
It's true.
He just kept farting and laughing uncontrollably every time it was like Brett was trying to talk about people he knows and the unschooling movement, and you're just like,
it was about a year ago, and Brett was on. We were talking about homeschooling, and Brett said that he had a Kentucky waterfall.
and then all of a sudden you couldn't get out of your head him waddling down the street with a mullet and a backpack on, and one of those hats that had a
Now, what is
spinner
a
on
Kentucky waterfall?
It's a mullet.
It's a mullet.
but a little bit of like a poofy like 80s spike.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It's
got some height to it.
feathered.
It's teased
it's
out in
very
front.
feathered.
It's hot. It's got teased out. Okay.
Okay. Billy Ray Cyrus,
Right.
Kentucky Waterfall.
Total Billy Ray.
And so,
I had one too.
You can go back to the bottle. Right now she's got her hands crossed. Like she's
no,
uncomfortable.
go back.
so worried.
She feels judged.
No, you weren't judged. You're encouraged.
You were encouraged. Exactly.
And so, and then he said he learned at his own pace, which he meant an accelerator program, but I took to mean short bus. And so,
That's when the pacemakers were born.
The Air Georges.
Greg photoshopped some white Velcro shoes. Said the little Brett Bittner pacemakers on sale now.
Well, we're doing a Kickstarter.
Because I don't like shoelaces.
Honestly, if they weren't such pedophile shoes, who would wear shoelace shoes?
Right?
You know what I mean? Like they're a pain in the like Bud. It's like, oh God, you're either Downs or you pedophile. Pedo sevens on fleek.
I do have a pair of those at home, though.
Do you?
Yeah, from Halloween costume.
See, it's always. What were you, Pee Wee Herman?
No, the Joker. Insane Asylum Joker.
Right.
So I had a straight jacket. And,
Perfect.
yeah. It fit the whole.
Should I just read this again?
No, she's talking. Yeah, I know what she's talking about.
Libertarians are good about the extremes, but if you can earn a minimal living, there's natural market barriers. What threshold of information on asymmetry could alter voluntariness of an exchange? I think the liberty movement remains limited in this gray area in ethics. What do y'all think? So,
it's a complex question.
right.
I
So
agree.
Seth was talking about something that was completely philosophical, but
Right.
what if your choices are limited in your local area? The market is limited.
Well, I mean, in anything, because you're a human, right? Mm-hmm. And you have to eat to live, and so your hunger is a burden that you don't have the option. Are you free from work? Are you free from self-preservation? You know, it's those animal instincts that motivate you into the burden and the slavery of having needs. And so you, on a grander scale in developing that's the argument for the unionization and the argument against or for mandatory unions, because they're saying when it doesn't do any good to make voluntary choice for unions, it doesn't help the cause at all. It has to be mandatory because people can only be hungry for so long. Like they can only strike for so long against the people. Like eventually we have to cave. They have the upper hand regardless because they have the capital.
Right.
And so that's sort of what this is getting into is at what level of basic needs being met are you actually free? You know, at what basic level, like someone who was born in East Chicago in Indiana, just like basically a war-torn area, are they really free to do whatever they want with their life? Because their day-to-day life is only thinking about survival. So do they have actual freedom until their basic safety needs are met? It's sort of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You know, once you climb up to certain levels, you get to like where we are, basic white. You know, we can think about what we want to do with our lives. That isn't an option for somebody who's, you know, doing James Neese dumpster diving, urban survivalism, but for real, not as a choice.
Subsistence living.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's an interesting conversation to have.
So it's funny that that's the way that you took it, because I actually kind of took it from in the way that the question was presented and the context with regard to the specific episode with Seth where that was discussed. I took it to mean, are you actually free to do something different when you're being discriminated against? Mm-hmm. And you know,
it means both.
Right, it does. So what I saw though is, and I'm going to go back to my friend John. We went for a Adopt a Highway cleanup, and one of the jokes was that it was a good thing we were there on Saturday because Monday through Friday, black people weren't allowed at the lunch counter. And that actually sparked the conversation that we had where we would prefer the overt racism, because then you know that you're not tacitly supporting a racist with your dollars. And so
scarlet letters for people.
Well, not necessarily scarlet letters, but that they are choosing to out themselves rather than hiding behind it and then, quote unquote, being forced to serve someone. But in actuality, the victim there is the person who is tacitly supporting something that they are, you know. So I go back to, if you guys remember the 2008 election, there was a bar in Georgia that sold some T-shirts that portrayed Barack Obama as a monkey. Mm-hmm. That place was called Mulligan's. They are actually in Marietta. It used to be the closest bar to my house when I lived there. I could go several other places, but it was the closest. But because of the way that they
sold T-shirts with Barack Obama as a monkey,
not necessarily that was one of the things.
I mean, that's what made
me aware of them. But they hung signs like Border Patrol eats for free. They always had something terrible about brown people, whether they were Hispanic or Muslim, on their road sign. And so what it did for me was it told me that by them expressing their views, that it was a place that I didn't want to go and I didn't want to support.
It's a signaling mechanism.
I would go someplace else. I had other choices, though, and I think that's kind of where Lauren's going with her question, is if that were the only place in town,
Yep.
what would you do? Well, personally, I would focus on the fact that that's what they are and build something that's the antithesis of that to drive everybody who doesn't support that away.
Now, what if you did and they didn't want it?
That could very well be the case. But
And you're still not free.
you're still not free, but neither are the patrons. I mean, they're going to have to find something different.
But they
too.
can be because the ones that go there and support it and don't have a problem with it are you voting with their dollars.
Sure.
Rather
But
than
that's
out of
only
necessity.
But that's only with a full awareness. That's only with 100% transparency about the ownership views.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have that in a society where it isn't where you're forced to serve.
Where there are like laws that hate speech laws or laws that prevent
Public accommodation.
Yeah,
and
instead
those
of
kind things.
like with Hobby Lobby, no one anticipated that businesses like sales at Chick-fil-A and Hobby Lobby would skyrocket, and
Right.
choosing to be anti-RFRA and those types of decision or anti-gay marriage is a marketing tool now. Because you're all of a sudden, that's where I want to go because they believe like I do.
The Mystic Pizza people, if you remember the story of Northern Indiana, and they were asked if they would serve pizza at a gay wedding.
Loaded question.
Right.
Completely loaded.
Let that sink in. And they said no, and they were just kind of they were targeted.
Gays don't like pizza?
Yeah.
Well, and that was a reporter calling around to every place in northern and rural anywhere trying to find a place to say no.
Right.
That wasn't somebody actually looking for it. It was just somebody looking for a story.
I see. So they were provoking.
Right. They were trying to find the one place that would say no and then write a story about it.
They ended up getting $900,000
From Glenn Beck's listeners.
Yep, Glenn Beck especially.
So, and on that point with, so I'll take it a little different route. About 20 years ago, everything changed. So we have the internet now. Basically, you can do anything from anywhere. You can buy and sell on Amazon, on eBay, whatever it may be. You can create your own career now. Whereas, so in these impoverished areas where there's not a lot of business, it's going to be hard fighting for the jobs that are available.
Internet,
but nothing
even.
stops you from going to the Dollar General, buying stuff for dirt cheap, and then flipping it on eBay.
Yeah, anyone-
nothing stops
Right.
you from doing
From the entrepreneurial
from
aspect
the
of it.
right, and that's what we should be preaching in those places
And showing
is-
it, demonstrating. That's the real thing is they're unaware that there is someone that's done it.
right,
Right.
And with like for instance, I went into a Dollar General not too long ago. They had a ton of bathroom cleaner that's $6 at the Meijer by my house for $1. Tell me you can't buy 6 cases of those for it's going to cost $75 or whatever, but you're going to flip that on eBay, sell it for $4, and it'll all
Arbitrage,
be
yeah.
gone in 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No, I mean,
you'll
yeah,
make
that's
Easier
the
amount
thing
of
is
Amazon FBA.
every resource that you need to scale out of any level of poverty in the United States exists.
right.
But every resource in Aleppo doesn't because you're hiding inside. You have to be hiding. So
Right.
there isn't the opportunity to go out and go to the library and use public resources. So like, yeah, you're right. There
Here in
isn't
the
any
US,
excuse that's valid here.
Right.
There just isn't one. There are a lot of cultural pressures. There are a lot of societal pressures. And truth be told, the people that do make it out don't go back because they never believed like the cultures and the societies and communities they're in anyway. So they rarely, like you look at what was the BET founder? He moved out.
Harry?
White flight.
Sorry, I was distracted by your cat destroying Shane's headphones. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Did she chew them up?
Oh, yeah. I tried to stop her, but it was too late. The damage was done.
Oh, no.
Cats are the worst.
Cats. Yeah. Cats suck.
They really do.
Well, why are you
All
laughing
of them.
about that?
Because that's the only thing you can do. What am I going to do? Hit the cat?
Oh, and those are
Still connected.
All right, good.
Just the
Here, there's some... Here,
protective outer layers so you don't electrocute yourself.
That is what I.
Yeah,
that
that's
is what I
exposed.
use to.
Harry, get the duct tape.
That's
Oh,
what I
good water will
use
be
to
on. That'd be even
distract-
better.
Go get it. Let's fix his headphones for him. Come on now. You're technical director here.
There's a lot of interesting ways to look at that because, one, it is so core and foundational that it's hard to scale that out to practical discussions. Because I don't, you could say, are libertarians, do they support any type of welfare state, and there's no easy way to say that. You know, they're pro-charity. It's just not government-sponsored and forced.
Right.
You know, so they admit there's a need for basic necessities to be met. It's an argument over how best to do it, not whether or not it's necessary to be free. And that gets lost because it's hard to message that succinctly and in a way that's appealing because people love government guarantees.
And a way to fit on a bumper sticker.
And often when you talk about the government not doing something, it's perceived that you just don't want it to be done. Right.
Why do you want sick kids with cancer to die, Brett, since you don't want to offer S-chip? You know what I mean? That you're immediately on the defense. And that's the dilemma of libertarian messaging sucks. Like, it's impossible to give a uplifting message because it's, listen, I am not for cancer kids dying. I am for paying for it out of my own pocket.
And when you're explaining, you're losing.
Yes, every time.
Yep.
And that's why we're just at a natural disadvantage.
Harry, less talky, more fixy.
And when lost my train of thought there.
So, he does that.
Yeah, the racism was just so strong.
It wasn't hit me like a brick wall.
It was
typical millennial feeling bad for the guy that it was the target.
It wasn't racism. He's the technical director of We Are Libertarians. There's been an outrage. Mittens has destroyed another thing. I feel terrible. And Harry can fix it.
As if your marriage wasn't enough.
Yeah, no kidding. There was one. You know why we got muffins? Fix his headphones, Harry. What are you doing?
You have to take my kid out. I have to go fix it. That electrical tape's going to do nothing but cause noise in his headphones, and then it's going to be my fault that his squat's not at deaf, and he's going to be on Instagram getting made fun of, and it's going to be my fault.
This all sounds great for us.
You
still haven't explained why you're not doing it.
There's white duct tape, and I've got some black electrical tape as well. Harry, where's the black electrical tape?
Why is your electrical tape black? Mine's like gold, different colors. You know, supporting people.
Here you go. Catch. All right, there you go. That'll keep it nice and
won't get electrocuted.
Pure.
All right, now I won't get shocked at least. It
It'll
might have helped though. Low part of the squat.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
God, that guy. What the hell is that? It's like Mike Pence put a clamp on him.
Got rid of that little bit of gay there.
I'm sorry, Evan. We can't be friends anymore.
Put him on, Evan, or you're not sitting at this table.
Where's the razor blade? Harry, where's the razor blade? Is it right behind you?
This is really concerning you.
The razor is it next to your suicide note?
Yes, it's right behind you, Harry.
This is captivating radio.
Listen, I'm
sure
very.
Everybody's loving every.
This
minute
is a
of it.
lady with tech support. How can I help you? Have you tried restarting the machine?
But you are like, because libertarians are awful. Like, one, because some libertarians like to help people out, but they do not like to toot their own horn. Right. A lot of them go out and just do things, and they don't. And when they do stuff,
they don't virtue signal.
Right, they don't virtue signal, or they don't do it in the name of libertarianism. I am giving out, food here on Thanksgiving in the name of libertarianism. They don't do that. They just do it like, well, I did this. Bye.
Yeah. What's funny about that is you'll see the pushback from other libertarians when you suggest that you go and do something. Let's just say
in the name
adopt a highway to actually virtue signal and actually point to libertarians doing things for people.
It's called marketing.
That's not what we do.
Yeah.
That's always the response that I get. That's not what we do.
Don't Christians pray in public before they eat? You don't think that's marketing? Is any coincidence that institution's been around so long and is so huge? Even though Christ says specifically not to wear it on your sleeve?
So they send Catholics to bars for marketing. Episcopalians go to places to eat.
It's multi-pronged strategy.
So they just try to get people. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
You just meet them where they are, and then that's Catholic. We do that here.
Mm-hmm.
So libertarian, that's what I do. Like, the wall, we love them, and we love libertarians all about walls. Just join me and vote how I tell you, and shut up. No, but I mean
it is called wall. So.
Yeah, exactly. We're very big tent libertarians. We take Hitler, we take Richard Spencer, we take them all. Got two undercut kids.
Let's not joke about that, because then I get
you always get the hate.
I get 8 million hyperventilate because they don't understand, because these children listening don't understand your jokes. They think you're serious.
They think I'm a Nazi.
Right. They think that you're alt-right. They think that you're Richard Spencer loving.
Who are these people? And please message me and I'll talk to you. I won't get hostile.
Right.
My last name is Zoellner and I do have an undercut.
You do.
Yeah. He's very German,
Strapping young chap.
as you heard earlier.
The kind you'd want to model an army after.
Listen, Greg
No, I have
had,
the wrong eye color.
Yeah.
Greg had family that died in the Holocaust.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm not finishing it.
You're not going to finish it?
They fell out of the guard tower.
You ever come up with something in your head that you're like, you get ready to sound the mic and you like pull back and you're like, whoa, I think I just went too far.
Never.
Nope. You
Well, I
shouldn't.
just did.
Do you listen? Do you listen to the show?
I have, and I just went, whoa, I can't believe I said that.
What was it here? You're allowed to say whatever you want.
See, you shouldn't hold back, though.
Well, it was the whole thing like that because, like, my wife, she's German heritage. Her last name is German. That's what she is, and I just wanted to. I was getting ready to make a joke like, no, we're very accepting of Germans. That's why I'm helping out with the white genocide. I'm taking them out. One it's covert at a time.
It's underground.
So if you can't
I
joke
respect
about
that.
something, it's never going to go away.
The real honorable people are the ones that infiltrate and never reveal that they're actually doing it, and so that's why I have so much respect for Harry.
Congratulations on. No, I'm not going to say it.
Oh, these snowflakes all of a sudden.
One.
No,
at a
go
time.
ahead, Spangle. You encouraged Harry to do it. You may as well.
Congratulations.
Yep.
No, I can't do it. It's too racist.
No, go ahead.
That's
have the
racist that
insurance.
you're
Yeah.
protecting Harry, thinking
Yeah.
he,
Right.
can't,
Dare
he
you.
can't handle
How
it.
dare you?
Congratulations on.
Oh, God, he's such a racist.
I know.
Wow.
I'm
And
editing
people
that
get
out.
mad about my Hitler jokes.
Yeah. By the way, Lacey and I were having a little girl.
Congratulations.
Gunther.
Yeah, Gunther. I'm going to pronounce it Gunther.
Are you going to put the two little
Because it's a
dots above the U?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
It's called an umlaut, Greg.
Yeah.
Are you going to put the windmill of friendship and toleration next to it?
Oh, all through the nursery, actually.
Awesome.
Now, Harry, are you kidding?
What?
Are you really naming your daughter Gunther?
Yeah. What's wrong with
Trendy.
it? Yeah. You saw it's a boy and a girl name. You saw the inside the group a great photo of a great Gunther. Okay, I told you.
Wait, are we talking about Gunther Gable Williams?
No.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
I've never
Did
heard.
you just assume his gender?
No, I just said the name.
If I were a teacher in elementary school and Gunther, your parents named you Gunther? Yes. Are your parents nerds?
Yes.
Here, I'm going to give you this. It's a podcast they're going to like.
Yeah, my dad's the technical director of a libertarian podcast. I never had a shot.
Can I have my breakfast stamp?
First off, their parents won't be nerds. I'm a nerd. Lacey's a dork. There's a big difference.
What is the difference?
She doesn't curate or get real nerdy. She just appreciates the culture and joke along.
Oh, okay.
She's a go along.
Yeah.
Right.
Nothing wrong with it. It's just not her thing.
Gotcha.
But she gets along with it. She thinks it's funny.
So
Hang out at Gen Con.
So she goes LARPing, but she doesn't dress up. She just stands on the side and laughs.
She does not go LARPing. I've pulled her, put her in different costumes. Actually used her.
She didn't sign up for the Free State Project?
Liberty LARPing.
You guys are not going to go together? It's so weird.
So she's a wallflower at a LARPing convention.
It's more Looking Glass, so she's a voyeur.
Let that process. You're a wallflower at a LARPing convention. You may be the most shy, awkward person ever, Lacey.
Well, no, it's that it's fun to just be like, oh my God, look at them go, those crazy little bastards. It's like at Ball State, they used to have a bar where there was crab racing, and I didn't so much enjoy it as I enjoyed watching the people root for their crab shit-faced on $2 Busch Lights.
All right, let's do one last.
That is a question sometime we should flush out more.
Yeah.
It's a big question.
Yeah, that question deserves an
A
hour.
long talk.
Yeah.
Well, I deleted it, so we're screwed now.
No, it's an
I'll
age-old
find it.
debate.
No,
Different kinds of freedom.
I do have it.
See, if we use if I get Trello up and running, you can just save it forever.
Well, I gave you
Not yesterday.
I wrote. I gave you a Trello roadmap, and you've not completed you've not built it.
The time I allowed for it to happen, it was down. I was sitting in the doctor's office. I was like, I'm ready to do
Always
this.
an excuse. We just got done saying there's no excuse for not having success here.
Yep. I'm
If
just
anybody
saying.
has ever made it, like,
I finally gave him a
You're good.
chance, and he failed. So it's just sad. This comes from Tyler. This is sent this month, or
Not Ted Western.
this is in like the last week. So we're very current. This is a fresh question from Tyler that he emailed to editor@wearelibertarians.com. Dear Leader, as a more recent convert to libertarianism, I found myself in a very interesting place. I'm an employee in a public school, and many of my friends are center-right neocons, some of whom are members of the local GOP. Nearly everyone I know benefits from either a government job or subsidies. How can I breach this topic with them and help them to see that the market is better than government? Well, here's the problem with your question. Let me start with this, okay?
Ain't going to happen.
Let me start with
Keep
it.
the government out of our Medicare.
You're trying to tell your friends that they shouldn't be such government leeches, and yet you work at a public school. So they're never going to accept as long as you.
He voluntarily works there.
He's sucking off the public tit. Tyler, come on, man.
Aren't we? Shouldn't we just start with screaming taxation is theft until
right.
everybody just
No,
succumbs?
I wish we would stop saying taxation is theft. Oh.
What?
It literally only works in the choir.
Do you want any libertarians to listen to this show,
I
Greg?
do, but like I want to grow, and every time I've tried that, because I've tested this, and it's immediate
Tested
shut
it
me down.
extensively.
I have on Republicans, and it's immediately like, oh God, here he goes again.
I don't
They
think.
zone out.
Tell me more
everything
about
else you say
ANCAPs.
after that point.
Yeah.
I don't know that anybody does. Do people actually say taxation is theft seriously? Because I thought it was just a meme.
No,
No,
they
but like, let's say in a
seriously-
conversation, like,
legitimately
what's the? Would you describe
Yeah.
the difference between taxation and theft, like in a policy discussion with the Republican? And then it's of course. I mean, taxes are the price we pay for a civilized society, like Justice Wendell Holmes said. And it's just like, do you not realize you're a small government, air quotes, small government constitutional conservative that is a total hypocrite? And then you've lost him completely.
Yep.
And then it goes, but what about the sick kids in the hospital?
Boom, emotion every time. You got to have no emotion.
No emotion.
That's when you go right after their church, especially if they go to church.
That's how you win people over. Attack their church.
attack their
so well
church, then
throughout
attach their livelihood.
Yep.
then
Break
attack
them
the
down
roads.
completely.
Yeah.
Those
See,
are the,
yeah, that's true.
That's the triumvirate right there. Their religion, their
God,
livelihood,
Holy Trinity
and
of
the roads.
libertarianism.
Yep.
The roads, religion, and livelihood.
Roads, religion, and
apparently
livelihood.
stepsisters
You want the
as
red
well.
pill?
Get them.
Yeah.
You just keep poking at them until you get them.
Until you've broken them their will to live.
Just get them.
You're going to go open an organic Dogecoin farm in Keene. Don't worry, you don't need customers. We just eat the pumpkins at their pumpkin festival.
That's funny.
Forcibly as they're thrown at you.
Yes.
See, so here's my problem with this is that he works at a public school, and yet he wants to tell other people that they shouldn't do what he's doing.
Don't get into that. That's getting distracted by the details, and it's a logical fallacy.
What?
It's a logical fallacy to attack their character because what they're saying is still true. Could still be true, regardless of their, their position.
I don't think that you come out and say, so I'm doing to you what you probably shouldn't do, which is like, hey, you're being hypocritical. You believe that there should be lesser government, but you're drawing from the taxpayer's teat. And people like, if you're on Maya's extreme, would say that you're violating the NAP. You are aggressing against people by stealing from them because taxation is theft. You should be shot and killed. And all the way to somebody who says, yeah, we need public schools. We just need them to be charter schools.
Privately administered.
Right, which may be more of a Republican stance. I do think that you have to examine your own personal beliefs. If you personally believe that working for the government or drawing some sort of government subsidy is antithetical to your personal values, then you have to examine the way in which you live. Now, we all do hypocritical things. I myself am a huge hypocrite. Why are you shaking your head so hard, Harry? So we all do hypocritical things, and so we're all trying to progress towards being a better realization of our beliefs and values. But if you personally believe that taking taxpayer dollars is wrong, then you yourself have to model that behavior first and foremost. And I think that as libertarians, sometimes we are very quick to explain to people how to live as opposed to showing them how to live.
Or helping them figure out how the right way is to live.
Right.
'Cause that's the only way you ever change a mind.
Right.
No, no one ever really wants to hear your opinion. Like when they ask you for it, they just want to tell you what they're thinking and then for you to validate it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So one of the other things that you can do is, in addition to pointing rather than pointing to it and actually walking the walk, as we've talked about before, is you just have to ask a series of leading questions. You have to ask the questions. You already know what their answer is going to be using their ideology, their words, but you have to ask them the questions that are going to make them realize your point, rather than trying to force them to believe just based on the fact that you are going to explain it to them over and over and over again, or you're going to, as we like to joke, screech autistically, or you are going to just scream taxation is theft until they relent. Those things don't actually work.
You've never seen a private road, really?
But if you don't actually have that conversation where you do talk about those things, then you're not going to be able to get them there. But it's all about offering them the opportunity to come to the conclusion on their own, because if they don't come to the conclusion on their own, even if they do come around, they can be easily swayed by somebody else. If they do come to the conclusion on their own, or feel like they came to it on their own, because you led them there, they're going to feel as if they are the ones that came up with the idea.
It has to be in a safe environment too.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
It can't be on a Facebook
draw them
discussion.
into a den of libertarians where 4 of the other people at the table are going to attack them when they aren't quite sure that they're ready to accept what you're talking about.
And that's a real problem we have, is our terminology is so different than the status quo. I mean, it is radically different in how we discuss things and talk about things. We
because
don't do
we're
bumper
trying to show that we're the
stickerization,
smartest person in the room most of the time,
which is the
rather than actually
biggest
trying to
mistake,
persuade.
in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, you also got to watch how you talk to, and you got to put seeds there, so when they're ready to hear the message, they're there. And you've got to watch out when you do it.
And it's not a one-hit win. You're not going to convert. There are very few times. There are very few times that you're actually going to convert somebody on the first pass. You're going to have to go back on that one issue over and over and over again. The other thing that to consider specifically with regard to this is it isn't necessarily about hitting them where they live. You have to figure out the issues that are important to them, convince them there, use that opportunity as you've built rapport because that you have one on an issue that is important to them and you show them a libertarian answer, to then extend that to the other things that they may not be as fervent or they may not be as emotionally attached to. So if you can get a win outside of, hey, you work at a public school, you're taking taxpayer dollars, taxation is theft. You can get to the point where they have some libertarian leanings or libertarian beliefs outside of that, and then use that, the fact that you already have a little bit of a rapport and you've already discussed the ideas of liberty with them to bring them around to the ultimate point. Again, it's not a one-hit win.
It may never win.
And you may never win. It took me, for a friend of mine, it took 20 years before he finally realized that what I was talking about 20 years ago in high school was something that it actually applies today. He saw it, and he acted on it, and he actually embraced the ideas of liberty and chose, ironically enough, he works for the CDC, but he chose
that's
a very libertarian.
That's not a
sure.
That shouldn't be a criticism of someone.
One of the best libertarians. In terms of the way that he lives his life, that I know works for the EPA. He's a scientist. He's not one of the bureaucratic guys. He's actually the one that they bring soil samples to, and he actually does the testing, but he doesn't politicize the way that a lot of people in the EPA would. But in the way that he lives his life, very libertarian. It just so happens that his job as a scientist is funded by taxpayers.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's an unrealistic ideal to have that level of, you have to.
And we've got 50% of the country is earning some sort of paycheck from welfare,
or the rest of the subsidies. It's every bit of 90.
And the idea that you could completely divest yourself from getting any government benefit or subsidy would be it's a fallacy.
An
LLC
LLC
just not possible.
is a government subsidy. It's a protection against liability for actual expenses.
Exactly.
Private property.
Yep.
I mean,
you're not having to incur the expense of enforcing your homestead.
Right.
Yeah, and if you do switch someone in one hit, that's probably a CIA agent, and they're just in there to scope you out. So I recommend Peter Gunsberging, wiping all your hard drives and equipment, and get away from that person.
Every time
you guys missed brunch conversation Saturday, especially about you guys, was great.
What did he say?
I can't tell you.
Those goddamn honkies and their mayonnaise.
Hey, it was a BWG Saturday, man. If you want to participate, come to yoga and come to brunch.
Was he being nice about
I
it?
love sriracha.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
What
good.
were you
That's
saying,
really good.
Harry?
Nice things.
He was saying nice
It's really
things.
hot.
All right.
nice thing.
If
I
you
like to
want to
drink
know,
it
you'll
with
come to
some
BWG
milk.
Saturday.
No,
Yeah.
German.
No, I want to know what you said, Harry.
No. If you want to know, you can come to yoga.
Go to Girl Talk if
and
you want to
then-
know.
and then come to brunch.
I like that they're going to yoga and brunch and then gossiping about us, Greg.
You're shocked?
No.
What do people do that go to brunch and yoga?
It is so funny to
They
hear
do
like
philanthropy and serve on PTA and then gossip about their friends.
it is so funny to like in our circle conversations about like me get back to me. Like you hear like, well, it's just like. It's so funny. We're a bunch of high school girls. We just gossip and chitter chatter, and
That's
then
all life is.
We just admit it.
right. I know. Were you saying nice things, Harry?
Yeah, total nice thing.
All right, good.
For a Canadian, he's a really good
Look-
libertarian.
Look, is he telling the truth? Do
Yes.
I have to kick him out of the Empire?
No, you don't have to kick him out of the Empire.
All right, I wouldn't want to. Harry, no.
Who's this?
What the fuck?
Crap.
What the hell?
We're under attack.
We are under attack.
Aaron,
With contraband.
Did you text him?
Aaron, no. Aaron Ewert.
What's up?
Aaron, who's been missing from Facebook.
He's hammered.
Just
Yeah, he's got the drunk grin.
yeah.
I hope he drove here.
Came in.
He just unannounced, uninvited, he just
Kramered
walked
in.
in
Does
my
anyone
door.
else know?
No.
You kept this a secret and invaded?
Yeah.
And he's got
amazing.
And you're
Amazing.
shit-faced.
he's got a Yingling.
Look at that grin.
Yes, he is.
Come over here and take this mic, Aaron.
The other
need a
German
picture.
in here coming straight into Poland.
Oh, my God.
Totally Kramer entrance.
And he walks
That was worse than Mayo with an AR-15.
He's got a Yingling, which is illegal in Indiana.
Contraband.
No, they're selling them here now.
Nope,
just
not
started.
until the 7th.
Yeah, you got a few more days.
No.
It's illegal.
I do. I talked to Brad about it the other day.
He's been trying to keep him out.
You just walk into my house uninvited.
As per usual.
See, the
And
thing
he doesn't even have his hair isn't even all.
I've been
grouped up.
outside working on my truck. I was gonna show up like an hour ago, but the
Oh yeah, I saw his thing
rolling
in
coal too
group
much.
snap.
See, what I like about Harry is so thoughtful and so respectful. See what
He
I'm
just
saying?
wants to copy your key.
Yeah, I know. That's a little. But Harry, Harry's like, hey, I'm coming over. I'm 30 minutes away. Let's set up a time. I can be available between these hours and this hour. And then Aaron just fucking shows up whenever he wants,
Like it's
unannounced.
Normandy.
Doesn't
Just
doesn't
like he's
even-
Kramer. Like that was a total Kramer entrance.
You didn't even. You
kind of
didn't,
let down. You don't have a fire going.
well, what?
He never turns the fire on when I'm here.
What?
Never. I never get fired.
They're afraid of him.
Only if you arrange the wood in
I
a
meant
particular order.
in a particular fashion.
I meant nerds. Okay?
LARPers in general. Are
LARPers are not fire
I
people.
thought Harry had a Yahweh shirt on.
No.
Grace Moloch.
Almost.
So
Triggered.
Brett and Harry spend a lot of time together. I've been spending a lot of time with Harry. Every time I hang out with Harry, I find out something fascinating about him. Another crazy layer to the onion that is Harry. Is it the same for you?
He filters his water that he has shower filters for fluoride on his shower head.
He shared in group snap that
That
it's
is so
because,
woke.
It's because fluoride is for your teeth, not for your body.
Right.
Too much super male vitality.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like
Fell
every
asleep with
week,
that.
do you learn something about Harry where you're just like,
Dude, we go to yoga 3 times a week. I learn all kinds of stuff.
it's amazing. He's one of the most
But
fascinating people.
Saturday is the most.
Boy, when there's a
revealing day.
fallout, though,
when we go to
and you guys
brunch,
get into a cat fight, it's not going to be pretty.
Yep. No, see, like Bittner and Harry are not that type. Like Bittner, we joke with Bittner a lot and give him a lot of shit, and he takes it all in
It's a
stride.
character.
Yeah.
We're attacking the character, not the actual Brett
Right.
Bittner.
And speak for yourself. and like Harry,
I mean, the Chick-fil-A was a little personal, especially the sweet tea.
Well,
Because that's actually like the number 2 thing that I miss the most since my diagnosis is the sweet tea. Number 1 is pineapple, but number 2 is the sweet tea.
he got the sugar.
Pineapple.
He
I
got
only
the
eat-
sugar.
Pineapple.
I only eat pineapple on my cottage
Harry
cheese.
has one. You can have it.
You be quiet. You're not invited here.
You're not
See,
out
and
with
I
your
have
other
to
friends?
be never
Yeah.
Bittner.
Yeah.
I'm
Sit-
5th from the throne.
Sit. We will speak to you and
Have you ever been invited to yoga? Either at Shane or Kat?
I haven't.
Kat
She's been
has
invited.
Why
to
haven't
yoga.
you gone?
Because I'm bad at yoga.
Okay.
single bit.
And it's too early on a Saturday morning when we're going to be
That
day
is the
drinking.
thing.
Well, and we're planning on day drinking after, like this Saturday.
Why
So I'm not
boring?
going to go to brunch with Harry Kat and I are going to be at a bourbon
Poor
tasting.
Harry feels betrayed.
He knows.
What about you,
He knows
Shane?
it's the first Saturday of the
First
month.
Saturday of the month. It's
So
okay.
I'm a
He's-
very
he's come
large
to
So
accept.
I'm
man.
probably going to go to Lush and get some bath bombs.
Alpha.
All right, everybody, one at a
Very
time.
alpha.
Our discipline is eroding here. Shane, it looks like he lifts weights.
Yeah, he's swole.
Yeah, he looks like me in 3 months.
Size at yoga does not matter, dude.
2 drops of
Super
male
male
vitality.
vitality.
Male vitality.
And I'm
my!
there.
I feel like if I took any of that, I definitely wouldn't be able to do yoga.
Do you lift?
That shirt would break
I
off.
do.
How often do you lift?
Right now, only like 2 days a week, but it used to be like 5.
What sort of program are you on? 531? You over there getting swole in the hard body plan? Body sculpting for men?
No, I'm actually just trying to lose the extra 75 pounds of fat I have.
What?
You know who started with the keto lifestyle over there?
Shane?
Yep.
He's seen the results.
Yeah, like Bittner looks great.
It's
he's
keto.
he's lost his
Whatever, man.
Keto.
CrossFit guys, that's it.
Yeah. Shut up, CrossFitter.
Flip a tire, faggot.
Yeah.
Gladly would.
Hey, why don't you go do another clean jerk?
Look at me. Make these ropes look like a wave.
Oh, cool. Meanwhile, what's your bench, bruh?
Yeah.
I'm over here doing 105.
You do the machine or do you do the free weight?
Oh, free weights, bro.
nice.
Free weights are the only way.
Yeah.
You got to build the stabilizers.
You
You
gotta-
got YMCA. That's
gotta
the
get-
old people circuit.
Have you learned the snatch
I coach
yet?
my son's basketball team at the YMCA, so I haven't run into Spangle yet there.
I know all about the snatch.
Olympic. Do you go power snatch or are you full?
Oh, I'm full
on-
snatch.
Do you ever do the high hang snatch?
Oh,
Or- no?
every single day.
Yeah.
Now
I
you
have
like the
no
low
idea.
descending snatch.
Yeah.
Condescending snatch.
Low descending. Low descending. The hanger is what I call it.
You work out at Baxter too?
No, I coach my son's basketball team, which plays there.
Oh,
Which, by
okay.
the way, we're 4-1 right now.
I generally
so
try
I
to-
was stoked
son?
about that. He's 7.
Nice.
He'll be 8.
So, what, 5th grade, 6th grade?
Is he the
Generally,
one with the shooting sleeve at 7?
no.
Yeah,
That's-
my
yeah,
son
that's
wears a
second
shooting
grade.
sleeve at 7. Yeah,
What?
he's 2nd grade.
Yeah, I
Like
thought
Allen
I saw
Iverson.
that.
I was very proud of him this week. I had to bench him in the 3rd quarter because we were up 28-4, and he had 24 of our 28.
nice.
See, that's society. Your son is too good. He needs to be reined in.
Communist.
Harrison
YMCA.
Bergeron.
Let this little Aspie kid that can't dribble shoot.
Why did you lean over and look at Aaron when you said that? Aaron, have you ever seen your kids play basketball?
Aaron, you have kids?
I coached their soccer teams.
You're
man,
a good dad.
I know. We tease. Your hair is very long.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was done.
It's
up
been
really
like
nice, but it got
9 days
it's-
since he got a haircut, I think.
I'm getting a haircut. I was supposed to today. I got called into work on my day off, so I got my fade moved to next. Actually, tomorrow at noon.
It's extra Hitler, man.
Yeah.
It's like almost as Hitler as Shane's.
I know.
Yeah, his is very. His is.
I feel like Richard Spencer flanked by my people at
Third
National
like.
Policy Institute.
Yeah.
It's just very third likey.
All right. As several people, for whatever reason, the last week have joked, I love the 30-minute warning when Spangle says we need to wrap up. And
Yeah,
also,
it's a soft ending.
Target closes in like 15 minutes. I got to get cat
Myers
litter.
still.
I think
I
you're
will
going-
go to Walmart and get you kitty litter and bring it back.
I'm going to take you up on that. Give 3. Fresh Step.
Is
Extreme.
it organic kitty litter?
Use gotta be for-
Fresh Step
with
Extreme.
baking soda in it.
Or Multicat. Oh, yeah. Fresh Step is the way to go.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're throwing down on a kitty
No,
litter run.
you go to Menards and get the firewood.
I
They're a
got
sponsor.
2
They
bags.
gotta send that to us.
If anybody wants to send Lara bars, cat litter, or firewood, it's on the Amazon wish list. And if you want to donate any,
It's on the Amazon wish list.
yeah, for the We Are Libertarians, it's essential to the operation. No, we have an Amazon wish list. I've added and updated a lot of expensive things, especially since we're building
Kitty
the video
litter,
program.
firewood.
Yeah, so go check
Shovel
that
groceries.
Lower bars.
Why do you have Vagisil on your wish list?
out. Why not? Because you're a crying bitch. That's why. So sick as you showing up here crying like a little baby.
I want to be on the podcast.
Oh, why can't my microphone be up? I got sand in my vagina. So,
Spangle never invites
Aren't you
me.
glad you came over?
listen, he's being abused and he's in timeout because he showed up here unannounced and uninvited. Did not give me a warning.
No one. You kept
No
it
one.
dead silent.
And
I wouldn't have told.
Did anybody else
watching?
Didn't
I
he's-
thought you were texting him, like, because you've been over there
I know.
fidgeting with the phone to make sure that you don't stroke your bottle.
Aaron Cat was
That's how you get warm beer.
Cat was given a
We went
nice.
on a porn critical review, stepsister porn, and I swear to God, it was
Kat was
crescendo at one point.
She was giving it a tug job, man.
Yeah.
She was over
and then
there.
We made her feel self-conscious, and she sat like a good little Christian girl.
It was really weird when she drank out of the bottle with no hands, though. That was the best. So, please don't use it for the bathroom.
What was the end of that question?
I don't remember.
We ought to. The person is.
Basically, how do I talk to Republicans about not being statist?
Actually, yeah, you have to one, talk in their language, and two, give them an enemy. That's the only way that, like, I have had way more success if it's you have a common hatred towards someone, or if, like, it's a Republican like Trump or it's someone else. You'll have your best success when you can blame someone that's on their side for it. It's very rare someone sees the light in politics because it's a team sport. But you'll have great success in creating a villain.
Divide and conquer.
Well, I mean, that's the story of of all human society too. Is that they're the reason that you have this lot in life.
Right.
We can fix that.
Well, I mean, that's how Bernie Sanders just rose up out of nowhere.
Yeah, the government is corrupt. The answer is more government and me.
Right.
I'm Jewish and know the Rothschilds. We're not corrupt at all. But that's the thing is when you're trying to change someone's mind and get them to make that first leap, like Brett talked about, which is damn near. I mean, it's like the ministry trying to change someone from lifelong bad ideas.
Or just
but
when
when you get the lucky villain that you can pin it on, you'll get that's why so many Republicans are more libertarian open because of, during the election, because of their just disdain for Trump, but then hatred for Hillary too.
Right.
But now we're looking at Alex Jones.
I got some dank Alex Jones. I have a great photo of Aaron, Shane, and Kat, but Greg looks like a potato.
You have enough faces of him to...
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. I've got to post
Put it up there as Greg doing his best little Brett Bittner impression.
You can check that out on our Instagram at We Are Libertarians. All right, let's start wrapping it up. Let's go around the table and do our final thoughts. Low Brett Bittner, wrap up at your own pace.
Well, I want to thank Dear Leader for 2 weeks in a row of having me on.
No, it's good to have you on.
It's
I enjoy it.
The 6-month absence and all. It's been kind of fun.
Too good. You pulled an Aaron Ewart.
I know.
Yeah.
Found better friends.
Well, I was a little preoccupied with a couple other things. And
few things.
Small
changes.
Nearly dying. That generally speeds up the process of getting your shit together.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does.
Yeah.
Final thoughts. I really did have a lot of fun. Last week, we didn't do much in the way of actual policy or talking much about libertarianism. So coming on and talking about it today, despite the Chick-fil-A sweet tea incident earlier.
That actually did get you a little bit, didn't it?
A little bit. Just, right in the feels.
I'm sorry if you were actually triggered. I just thought it'd
Slightly
be funny.
triggered.
I'm sorry.
I need a little safe space.
You know
Next time, get the unsweetened.
Unsweetened
Just
is
out of
fine.
respect
That's
to him.
terrible.
You know how much I want to care deeply about you, Brett.
I know. It's true.
I want to try.
But you make it so goddamn hard.
Oh.
So, yeah, check me out on Instagram, at Brett Bittner, Twitter, at Brett Bittner. I'm a little more active than I have been just because I'm talking less about or talking more about politics and less about, how I'm eating. Although, I do have to say, Brett's Bacon Challenge is going swimmingly. I cannot wait until dinner. I cannot
He doesn't know
wait.
about it?
You don't know about the
I don't know.
Brett's Bacon Challenge?
I haven't been able to get on any kind of social media for 3 weeks. I've been so busy.
So what I decided, I think it was Monday, was that I'm not sure if it's going to be the month of March or if it's going to be for all of Lent, all 47 days, but they lined up perfectly for this to happen. But I've decided that every meal that I have will have bacon. Not only will every meal that I have bacon, I will take a picture of it and keep it in the Brett's Bacon Challenge. I have like 6 other people that are participating. Christy Avery is among them.
Nice.
My friend Jonathan in Texas and a couple other folks are adding their pictures as contributors to the album.
It's like food diary as a group.
Right.
Food diarrhea.
But the focus of this whole thing is that you have bacon with every meal. So it's actually been a lot of fun. I was already eating a lot.
Add it to
right.
I dare you.
Well, and today for lunch I just decided to add extra bacon to something that already had it.
It was
on
covered.
Oh, it was It was almost a bacon bun.
I didn't know what was underneath it. I just knew that there was like melted cheese and bacon bits on top of this
Perfect.
thing. And I was like,
so dinner is going to be bacon and eggs. I'm so excited to go home and cook it.
I was having I was at Meijer before I swung over to my apartment to do this podcast, and thick cut Meijer bacon on sale for $5.99. And it's nice bacon too.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. It's
is
not
that on your Amazon
overly
wish
fat.
list?
It is.
Actually, right now it's on sale at Kroger for $3.99, which is where I just picked up 2 pounds yesterday.
Thick.
2 pounds
Two
of
C's.
bacon.
Thick bacon with
Thick.
2 C's.
Bacon.
Thick as fuck.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Harry Price, I know I have given you a lot of shit this episode, but thank you so much for all that you do for We Are Libertarians. Many people don't understand how much Harry actually does behind the scenes for us, and it means a lot to me and to the listeners because as we have established, we are one. And thank you so much for your help and your continued help, despite not fixing Shane's headphones earlier. So, Harry, your chance, and congratulations.
He's getting a little bit of entitlement from being around so much. He thinks he has the liberty to reject certain requests.
He was able to fix it on his own. It's okay.
But he shouldn't have to because he didn't commit the crime.
That's right. Mittens, look at her. She's over there like she did nothing wrong.
She's licking her paws of the last enjoyment of those earphones.
Yep. So Mittens destroys so many things.
So many things.
I have mic condoms that I put freezer bags over the mics when we're not using them, so we don't get cat hair. So when Brett comes here, I don't kill him because he's allergic to cats, and Mittens has chewed all through them.
You never did that in high school?
So, Harry,
got creative with a condom.
Your final thoughts for this episode?
This episode was really, really cool. I didn't expect to get a microphone shoved in my face. I literally expect to sit behind a computer screen and try to mess with the cameras, make sure everything worked. But we'll just end up having
We'll do that next week.
Because we're going to live it anyway next week. So
since you are not going to have Basic Bitch Saturday, maybe you can come over.
We're still going to yoga.
Yeah, well, after that, maybe come over here and we can start testing some stuff because I'll have everything in tomorrow.
Okay.
Last.
I am not drinking while my wife is pregnant and can't drink with her. So
that's true love.
It is killing me.
That's
now, when
good.
you leave her to go to the Free State Project, she doesn't LARP. That's a little different.
So she said she'd kill me if I go to Pork Fest without her. And
so as we move into the new era of video that we are planning to do and some various things, Harry will be instrumental. He'll be here acting as our producer and helping out. And so thank you so much, Harry, for helping provide the computers and the backbone to all of that.
It'll be fun. The other thing I wanted to put out there is hopefully Seth gets all moved in and gets the internet connection back and we can go back to doing streaming. As I miss gaming. It's almost I haven't gamed since we streamed because it's not as much fun now without streaming with Seth. Seth actually makes gaming kind of fun. It's kind of weird gaming with him.
After the episode last week, we were just hanging out and talking, and you two got into, and you did it on the episode a little too, like an argument over video games. You're both, I have no idea what you two were talking about, but you're very passionate.
We get high-end GPUs, and the other reason why PC's better than Mac, and why PC's better than those dirty console peasants. But it's okay. But the other thing I also going past that is the other stepsister porn that you are like bypassing, which you are missing out on. Is the stepsister porn with comes with sleepwalking. I don't know if you've seen that one. That's a whole different level. They're like sleepwalking.
This is always put the pillows in the stove. I don't know why.
See, Greg, I told you it's a thing. I'm not weird.
Wait a second. I thought where did you say?
How many pillows in the
stove?
Aaron yelled the stepsister sleepwalk porn.
That was a
it's a
double
crossover joke
because it was a stepbrothers joke about sleepwalking,
right?
And
stepsisters,
right? So now it's not funny because I had to explain it to Spangle.
Comedy's always better with an explanation. It's like politics.
Get the fuck out! What's her name?
Jimmy McRussell. You cheap knockoff.
James McRussell. So many. Why don't you grab the mic from Shane? Swing that over to him. So many people are. You got a ban. What did you get banned for on your Facebook?
I said a dirty word, a bad word that Facebook doesn't like, but it was in a secret group.
But
that normally was safe.
Right. It's
but they
fine,
had
though.
added like 30 new people, and somebody reported me, and we had to purge all the new people.
What
and,
I'm coming to find is that reports aren't so often someone you don't know. Someone that you know very well.
Really?
Yes, is what I'm discovering.
Caitlin Kopetsky got me for 3 days.
She did?
Yeah.
It's an inside job. It's like break-ins at your house. You think it's random.
Yeah, I think Greg
It's been
reported
cased.
James McRussell.
Call me that again. Call me a report.
Yeah.
You know.
No.
See what happens.
I posted a picture on after I got banned on my main account. I posted a picture that I made of Greg late night. He woke up to like 10 likes on this picture of him.
Yeah, it's the one that we talked about last episode.
Late night equals drunk memeing.
Aaron should have a curfew on Facebook. Last night, Aaron needs a midnight curfew.
Actually, I got banned for something I did at like 1 o'clock in the
I
morning.
know. It's 12:30, and then all of a sudden in chat, you'll post like 3 really offensive memes, and then look. It's like a test to see if anyone's up, and then you'll private message like, "Hey, let's go do this in this group."
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I posted a picture of Greg in front of some girls in some Nazi attire, and he was giving the thumbs up. It was a pretty good Photoshop.
It was excellent. It was. I wasn't even mad.
I got several.
I don't know why everybody else was.
I got several people concerned that was real.
Woke up the next, banned on both accounts. So
someone reported that?
Yeah. Got it removed.
It's not on there anymore?
No.
Damn it. That was a feature photo.
I got zucked 3 times in 2 days.
Why don't you post it, Greg? Go ahead.
I will.
All right, post it. Make your profile picture.
Good times.
Be the change you want to see in the world, Adolf Hitler.
Inspiration.
Yep.
Aaron, what else was I going to say about you? You come over unannounced all the time.
Mm-hmm. This is 2 times in a row.
It's very annoying.
Yep.
Don't give me that look.
I didn't Facebook Live it this time.
You should have, because that would have been hilarious.
Harry, when you went back outside, you didn't lock the door.
Yep.
Harry locked the door.
I figured it was safe enough white people around here. Like I could keep the door unlocked.
But Martinsville people, you never know when they're going to just invade.
I was going to leave my keys in my truck. I felt so safe, but I got a nice little beer opener for a keychain, so I had to bring that in with me.
It is 10 p.m.
You did have the drunk grin, Aaron. Drunk cheery Aaron's here.
He just was like, hey, well, look what I did. Yep.
All smiles.
All smiles. Look at him. When Harry can't be our video producer, we should have Aaron be the producer.
He's our documenter. Like he's been creep shotting us for
years.
For
like 3 years.
Well, we're not paying anybody anything.
Eventually, you're going to pay me.
Okay, get out. I can find interns to do it for free.
Get some college credit.
Yeah, exactly. We should get interns in here, man. I love interns at work. We have one at work right
Who's
now.
going to just do an internship for 3 hours on a Thursday night when they're not allowed on?
Surprised.
You'd be surprised. We have somebody who comes in, and she's there 1 hour a week.
We'd get Tanner. That would be our talent pool.
God love Tanner. Tanner is something.
He could bring the whole staff of cricket over.
So, Harry, did you get everything out that you wanted to say?
Yeah, I got everything out. I can come over on Saturday, but I have to hit Lush Up. I am out of bath bombs, so I have to go and pick that up. After brunch.
We're not doing brunch.
I'm still going to brunch.
Oh, okay.
But
we may want to do early yoga.
ooh, well, we can do early.
We can do early yoga this week. It'll make it much easier for me to be on time for bourbon.
Okay, we can do early yoga.
Do you have Greek choir practice with Chloe?
No, that's on Wednesday nights.
Don't combine the two and do drunk yoga.
Drunk yoga.
Now she's into.
That's a great YouTube.
Harry and
I don't like yoga because I don't support multiculturalism. I feel like it's cultural Marxism. There's getting
cultural appropriation.
It is. You guys are culturally appropriating the Hindus by going and saying namaste and then basic white breakfast.
So Harry and I are also talking about doing a tech podcast where Harry talks about things that I have no idea.
Where are you coming up this time?
Exactly right. I'm trying, listeners.
Oh, it gets bigger.
So hard.
God.
Aaron, anything that you'd like to say at the end of this podcast?
Apologize for leaving us.
Well, I mean, I'd like to thank Dear Leader for inviting me over again. And,
this is why you need a wall.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Not just around my heart.
Open
right.
Borders apartments over here on in South. You want to find him?
Could you
Perfect
not say
microcosm of our discussion?
Apartments.
bucks.
It only takes one buck. It only takes one Bucktowner to ruin an entire neighborhood.
Are you editing that out? I saw you write something.
Fuck yes,
down.
I'm editing.
You just doxed him on a podcast.
Oh, gee, yeah, I only have several $thousands worth of equipment in here that I don't want stolen.
And 2 cats.
So we need to get a. So when we start going live, we need a dump button.
Well,
The dump.
yeah, exactly. But
Dump.
Crank call. No, I've got the. For those of you listening who want to try and steal my equipment, I know you're out there. I've got drop cam, okay? And
Is that a musket?
that is a musket. That's my weaponry right there. I got a pitchfork and a musket. So when
He takes the Second Amendment literally.
when I was married, we were at our old apartment, and thank you, give me the Nazi knife.
Cholo run.
And we had someone knock on our door, and it was 11 o'clock at night, and the peephole was covered, and I said, "Hello, hey, this is Craigslist." Craigslist. I think you have the wrong number. No, Craigslist. I said, I'm not opening the door. Out of my right view, my ex-wife runs up to me and hands me the musket. And I look at her and I go, what the fuck am I going to do with this?
What? It doesn't have the bayonet, you dumbass. That's
Go ahead, Harry, Brett, see if you can get
Am I
to
going
it.
to charge on him?
It's pretty heavy. We'll take a photo with it and put it up on the Instagram.
Hold up.
Exactly.
Don't give me this unless
while I
it's
pack
packed
this
properly.
Right.
Pack that again.
I have a 5-foot radius it can hit for 20 feet.
So yeah, it does have the tamper, but yeah, it's pretty heavy. My grandpa gave it to me.
It's awesome.
Before he passed away, it's
in good shape.
It's like it's. There's literally.
Trust me, I've seen him shoot. Here, point it at me. Here, no, seriously, point it right at me. Point it at Harry.
I'm trying to point it at Harry. There's. Hurry, Aaron. Here, one more.
Finger off the trigger.
Yeah, at least,
straight out.
come on. At least have some trigger discipline.
No, right?
This thing hasn't been fired in 47
Does
years.
not matter.
And that's how we lost Greg.
Why did you literally? He went out like he wanted to. Just the Revolution reenactment. If it had only been Civil War and Lee had won.
See how heavy it is? I mean, I could have beaten him to death with it.
Accidentally shoot Brett, take him back down to Georgia. Shot by a Yankee rifle.
Yeah, we got one. Told you we'd rise.
It's not a rifle; it's a musket, right?
Sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah, there's the rifling. Is it really a musket though?
you tell me.
Is there rifling inside? If there's rifling inside, it's a rifle.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's rifling inside, I'm sure.
The other thing that we've talked about doing is going Saturday to the gun show, and Hannah Weber's going to teach me about guns. But
Not my
Hopefully
boyfriend has
she
anything to
teaches
say
you
about
some
it.
trigger discipline.
I know.
Yeah, that's a definite must-have.
I don't
There's
acknowledge.
no resting the finger on the trigger.
You cannot fire that thing. There's no way.
I don't
And
know.
if you really
I've
want to
heard that before.
you'd have to have really flexible toes if you wanted to commit suicide.
That's why Spangle
1850 is Kurt Cobain.
Spangle keeps this gun in the house because a pistol would be too easy.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't have weaponry. Shane,
The pitchfork.
Your final thoughts for the episode?
Well, thank you for having me.
Thanks for
It's
coming on.
been-
Good to have you on the first time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I hope to be on more in the future. And
We'll do a more serious one.
right,
Less free range.
hey, no worries.
No.
It's all good with me, dear leader. I appreciate you allowing me on here,
Thank you so much
The
for
Empire.
coming.
allowing me in the gates to,
Yes.
to film this podcast.
Aaron's doing his own show off mic in the background. Could you please shut up?
No. Ari and I are going to show you how to shoot this one day.
All right, I'm
My
down.
dad has everything you would need to actually fire this.
Kat is very nervous that you're pointing that at her face.
I was not.
So, anything else?
Well, we do have our podcast that we'll be working on here shortly for future Libertarian
Yep.
candidates.
There is a podcast out there called Upward. If you go and check it out, it's part of the We Libertarians Network. Shane and I are going to do some candidate training, some Just some various training things. Maybe we'll get little Brett Bittner involved in some of that.
Sort of a resource hub for candidates. to make it
Exactly
easier.
right. So you can go back and listen to some old podcasts. So please download that feed. You can just go to iTunes and search We Are Libertarians. There's a bunch of podcasts in there.
And you guys can follow me on Facebook at Shane Zoellner.
Do you want people adding you on Twitter or any other platforms?
So I transferred all of my other platforms over to my startup.
Oh,
So
cool.
I'm not promoting it yet, but it's nyte.ly. So feel free to follow those as well.
It's underground right now. Like
It is
Banksy.
underground. There is zero content on it right now. I do have 100 followers, but
Keep it
it's
that way.
zero
As
content.
stealth startup mode forever.
Right.
Build anticipation.
750,000 followers and not one post.
And then just like a cryptic tweet once in a while of the what was the one that WikiLeaks did of the World Trade Center. It was about a bank vault in the bottom, Vault 7.
Right. Vault 7?
Yeah.
Not heard of it. Never heard of her.
Get woke, bro. Globalist.
Greg?
Global fag.
Okay. All right. Well, we went there, did we?
No, nothing really. We didn't talk. Is there any major development this week? I'm trying to think. Rumors that the Fed are going to raise interest rates and try to spark a little recession here in the next month or so, but I don't think that's going to have any effect. And the Dow, just like the Walt, just keeps getting higher.
Yep,
all-time highs. So all in all, when your 401k is going up, that's a good thing.
All right, very good. Did you watch the SO2, the State of the Union?
Oh, yeah.
What did you think?
Excellent. This is the first time he showed the personal side of himself.
I have not watched it. I'll probably do that this weekend. Maybe we can do a little reaction video or something at some point.
Yeah, it was the best he's ever done, and the moment with the widow from the Yemen raid, the individual, that was, I think Van Jones said it, that's for a lot of people when he became president. It was just a powerful moment, and I couldn't agree more. He was excellent. No specifics, but who gives those in a State of the Union? It's all general platitudes.
Yep.
And it was it was Bill Clinton's address in 1992 or 93.
Kat, you want to say anything? No? All right. Thank you so much.
She's back.
She's back. She's really jerking that bottle.
Hands are no room for the mic.
Girl. All right. They all leave, circle back around 10 minutes later.
Leave your phone.
Yeah.
That trick actually happened.
That has happened, yeah. I don't think I have anything. I'm just so impressed by our audience, and
yeah, no kidding. You guys are awesome.
We have a great audience. We have a generous audience, and the thing that I love so much about you guys is that you love this more than we love this. Maybe like for me, this is my passion, my hobby, my social circle, my everything. And so to see people...
Your basic gestalt.
My basic gestalt. And so to see people, not only the people in this room and the other 20 people involved with We Are Libertarians, hang out last week and talk about the future of this and want to be involved, and then, hey, I need some help paying the bills. Would you guys do a one-time or a repeating contribution? And to have a really great response to that, in addition to advertise it, like it's awesome to see so many different people respond to what we're doing here, and we're well out of the bounds of society, well out of the bounds of libertarian thought, but we've carved out our own little group of savages that want to be
libertarians. We just will go outside of the bounds.
We're building a great little community of people. It all happens in the group. Join that Facebook group. Feel free to add Greg and I on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Report anything though.
Yeah, you're
Chopper.
If you go to the About page on WeAreLibertarians.com, I link to everybody's social media. So if you want to follow the whole gang, I'm sure they're cool with it too. Add me on Snapchat, see Spangle,
Find a good stepsister porn video, email it to him.
Oh,
Share it on Facebook.
Yeah,
Really?
right on his wall.
Really, just
This is right up your alley, Spangle.
put it right on my.
You're gonna love this one. She's
yeah.
not a magician; she's a ventriloquist.
And it's not coming from her mouth.
Yeah,
And listen, I am going to show you that video. I could see in your eyes how much you wanted to see.
She's
that
really-
cat.
yeah, she
was
did.
very into
all of
it.
a sudden, like the Liberty stuff. Stepsister porn, cat. Sad eye.
Get me another beer.
Yeah,
So I'm just humbled's not the right word because that's bad for business in this industry.
I disagree.
But I'm a proud father.
A kind, benevolent dictator.
Yes, I am humbled, and I am so appreciative of everybody who wants to participate in the making of something that is my dream. You know, I think our dream collectively as a group. And you guys respond when we ask for help. You guys donate money. And we are going to do more for you guys, especially because we appreciate the people who help us pay the bills. And I need to personally be better about making sure that we're giving you stuff and thanking you properly.
And it pushes
for what
us
you
to
do.
grow.
Absolutely.
Rather than get complacent and just kind of settle in.
Yep. And so, I'm willing to do more and more and more and more and more. So
that's for the litter.
Oh, thank you, Shane.
It's a donation.
Appreciate it.
This was his fee to come on.
Yes,
we're selling passports onto the wall empire.
I was $3 short on the $867 donation.
So
don't spend it all in one place.
Oh, thank you, Aaron. Thank you. The money. Anybody else?
We don't take EBT, Aaron. Sorry, this isn't Martinsville.
This is not the Martinsville IGA.
He's so triggered.
I know.
He's going to chew those.
Oh, yeah. 10 years.
If you were a good friend, you'd know that.
Oh, my God. That's why I shop. Now I have to go to the Dollar General.
That's actually who bought it. Actually, it's Family Dollar.
Oh, really? All right.
Is that better?
So when 10 years ago when Dollar General came over kind of on the southwest side, that was a big deal in Martinsville. Dollar General's coming. So anyways, I just wanted to give you all a thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm too blown away. Like the quality of individuals that listen and their level of knowledge and just the questions we get.
Yep.
That's what it does. It's a little bit, it makes this hard to do because we can't do a bad job because our listeners know so much. It's a little bit like trying to write a book or do a movie about the Beatles. Is no matter what you do, your audience knows so much about it.
Well,
you struggle. You struggle to offer compelling content.
Yep,
and get everything right.
And especially to Greg. Thank you so much to Greg because I'm the platform guy. I'm building the platform, and Greg is the philosophical backbone of this program. And I thank him so much for always coming in prepared and helping us have a great show.
Well, back at you, buddy, because need both. And I could not do the platform stuff because it's not a passion for me. And, I'm sure that reading Rothbard and knowing who Howard Rourke is not a passion for you.
I would kill myself. But
exactly. Yin and yang.
I spent all last weekend watching YouTube videos on lighting. So
right.
We can do it.
You did get very Caitlin Kopetsky-esque.
Oh, I got a ring light now. I bought it.
You extra.
Yeah. So we've got some backgrounds. We're going to do all kinds of fun. We're talking about one segment called Behind the Memes. So that we will release to.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So one of the things we're gonna give bonuses and use a membership plugin that we've got on the website. So anybody who donates monthly, we're going to give them access to several things, and one of them is a meme database.
One is and it's basically a meme sewer for wall memes.
Yep. And so and
I know your meme for wall memes,
right? And so we're finally going to do that extra show that we promised 6 months ago.
Tentatively,
TBA. Harry is just playing with the musket. Harry, could you please stop playing with your musket?
This is why I support a gun ban.
Right, very long, very brown. I'm triggered. So, what's your assessment of my musket?
I think this thing would blow up in your hand if you actually did fire it.
Right.
Just got several different leaks on it. Then I already started I think some of the most of the stock is probably ornamental, like the rifle part, like the barrel is real, but there's some other parts of it. I think someone just added to a nice piece of wood. It does look really cool, but I think this thing will explode.
It's an artifact, yeah.
I have no intention of ever actually firing it.
Yeah, but I want to.
That's right.
I want to.
And you're going to wish you had the bayonet.
Right.
I'm going to knock on your door and say, this is Greg's list.
I can get the Arduino, and we'll get a little camshaft down here, and we'll get it to turn that, to pull it, and we'll be far away from it. dang straight.
Boy, you two. Gearheads.
I like that
Click and clack.
they just took my weapon and they want to take it from me and blow it up. My prized possession from my grandfather that has passed away 20 years ago.
It's okay.
I told you, one Martinsville in a neighborhood ruins everything.
Yep. Once one moves in, you've got to move.
Ooh, then we also
Next thing you know, there's an engine in their front yard.
Right. Well, you get a Bucktowner. You get one redneck from
I
Martinsville.
have an outboard motor laying in my driveway right now.
I wasn't joking. I was being facetious.
We're not kidding. So you
That's
should
launcher furniture.
He's got a
for,
boat. He's got
Martinsville folk.
several boats for sale. All right, kids. Final words here. Thank you
Sign
so
off.
much. Thank you so much for being a part of this, and I mean it. I am you, and you are me, and we are growing something special together. And as always, we promise
To do better next time.
Thank you for listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Get our other shows at WeareLibertarians.com.